information from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community is still broadcasted to the masses, Mr. Chair.
That's why we invited you because of the powers of corruption, and that's why we would like to inquire
To besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, dignity, and my personal even members of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming
the honorables and to our guest, pleasant good morning. Our 27th regular session is now called to order. Please rise for a short prayer followed by the national anthem.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear Lord, at the start of this day, we would like to praise and thank you for all the blessings and good things that you have given us. We thank you for our accomplishments and good deeds that could not have been possible without your continued guidance and inspiration. Our hearts are full of gratitude for all that you have done to us. We hope you will continue to understand our failures and shortcomings, and may the seed of your word grow within us and our families so that love and peace will always reign in our hearts. For this, Lord, we need your continued guidance and strength. Amen.
Renaissance silangan, hanap ng puso sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lumang hinirang, tuyak ka ng pag-ibig, sa manunubig, di ka pasisingin, sa dagat puno, sa simoy, at sa langit mo ako, may dinatang tulak at hawig sa patlayang minamahal. Ang pisang ng watalan mo'y ganun ay narating. Ang bituin at nakarang ay nagkamay ni Magiging. Walang araw na walang ibang sinabi ay langit sa piling mo. Ang hinaya na pagay ng langit na pagkalay ng dahil sa'yo.
Mr. Secretary, kindly do the roll call.
For our roll call for the 7th regular session, the Honorable Abram L. Swallow,
Present.
SB Member Natalie C. Paderes, SB Member Jupiter L. Reg Galinero, SB Member Frolibar S. Bautista, SB Member Lloyd B. Maming, SB Member Dalitig Y. Sumdad, SB Member Maylin A. Graf, SB Member Danilo G. De Los Santos, SB Member Dante C. Pagsugiron, SB Member Julieta A. Aron. Mr. Chair, we have 6 present and 4 absent.
Okay, so the chair would like to declare a quorum. Let's move to the adoption of the minutes of previous session. Honorable Pagsugiron.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I move to dispense the reading of previous minutes.
Okay, a motion from Honorable Pagsugiron to dispense the reading of previous minutes, seconded by Honorable Aron. So our reading of previous minutes is hereby dispensed. Okay, let's review. Any correction or amendments on page 1? Page 2,
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Page 2, Mr. Chair. Line 97.
97. Proceed.
Can construct any it's just, let me see. 1 million peso also if there is no legal basis. So this is there is no legal basis, but there is no legal ownership on the land, not basis. There is no legal ownership on that land, Mr. Chair, not basis.
Okay, noted. Let's continue on page
Mr.
3.
Chair?
Honorable Pagsugiron.
Page 2, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Line 120.
proceed.
In addition, Mr. Chair, as per Mrs. Casimiro, I'd like to add the word statement here. As per Mrs. Casimiro's statement.
Okay, noted. Let's proceed on page 3. Page 4.
Page 4, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiron.
Line 192. I'd like to omit the word I think, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I think I'd like to omit this word, Mr. Chair.
Okay, noted. Page 5. Page 6.
Page 6, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Line 358.
358. Proceed.
Invited guests who are present with us to delete this with us this morning. So to present this morning or present this morning, and then line 359. Both, Mr. Chair, on the encroachment so to delete the encroachment on the development,
Okay, noted.
and then 365.
365.
The permit to cut trees in the area, but it is still for the publication, so it should be changed, not publication but application in that area, but still the application is on the process.
Okay, noted. Page 8. Page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 14. Page 15. Page 16.
Page 16, Mr. Chair.
Proceed, Honorable Bautista.
Line 955.
99.
955. 955.
Okay.
It's very clear that you cannot share a board with anybody, but to change to that you cannot assign a board to anybody, not with anybody. Delete, share, change it to assign.
Okay. Let's proceed on page 17. Page 18. Page 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28. 29. Honorable Giri. Yeah, Graf.
Okay, line 1730. I know, sorry. 1734, Mr. Chair.
What page is that, Honorable Graf?
29.
29.
Whom
Proceed.
did you ask? Please delete so to. The first two words, please delete and just ask. Whom did you ask?
Okay, noted. Page 30. 31.
Again,
Honorable,
Mr. Chair,
Graf.
sorry. Let's go back to page 29, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
Who was the person from the engineering you asked? Parang, just remove whom you have asked.
What line is that, Honorable
Who
Graf?
was the person from the engineering you asked? You have asked. Please remove whom.
I'd like to know what page is that, Honorable
Sorry.
Graf. Yeah.
Same page 29. Line 1739.
Seven-
Sorry.
seven-
Sana yun? Yeah, 1739.
1739. Okay. So let's proceed to page 32.
Page 32, Mr.
Honorable Pagsugiron.
Line 1944.
19.
1944. 32 hectares should be provided, must be changed by must. 32 hectares must be provided, Mr. Chair.
What page is that, Honorable?
Page 32.
32. Noted. Okay. Let's move to page 33. 34. 35. 36. 38. 39. 40. 41. 42. 43. 44.
Nag-blurred ang ano.
45. 46. 47.
Mahan siya.
48.
Hindi ba pwede magmana lang.
49. 50.
Grabe.
51.
51, Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Line 3159.
Proceed.
Change the word complement to comply because supposedly they should comply with our LUP, not complement.
Okay, noted. 52. 53. 54. 55. 56. 57. 58. 59. 60. 61. 62. 63. 64. 65. 66.
55.
67. 68. 69. 70. 71. 72. 73. 74. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 80. 81. 82. 83. 84. And finally, 85.
Record breaking.
Honorable Graf.
Mr. Chair, I would like to parang comment on the how you call that the transcription of our session last week, because I know a lot of these transcriptions were said in our dialect or Tagalog. I would like to see it as is, because sometimes if translate in English, the meaning changes. So I would like to see it as is. mas ano ba, sometimes if you say it in Bisaya, translate in English, sometimes the meaning changes eh. So what happens to our official minutes afterwards is different from what we really mean. Even if we review it, it's just my comment, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Secretary.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Bautista.
I think the SB Graph has a very good concern, no, regarding our minutes. No? So we just let it, if we state it in Bisaya or in Tagalog, what dialect, so I think you have to leave it as is. No? With no translations. Para I think that's true. Na there's some changes on or how you construct, especially sometimes the one word Tagalog or Visayas when you translate in English, parang different meaning na. So kung Bisaya na, kung Tagalog, Tagalog na. No,
Okay.
siguro.
Take note.
At the same time,
Mr. Secretary.
the translator there's no problem anymore because just put it as it is. Chair.
Okay. Thank you for your suggestion. Honorable
Mr. Chair.
Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, I think the previous minutes was already reviewed, no, properly. So I move for its approval and adoption, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so a motion on the part of Honorable Pagsugiron for the adoption of our previous minutes, seconded by
With some corrections, Mr. Chair.
No, I will. I'm
Yeah.
supposed to say Honorable Aaron, with correction on page 2, line 97, 120, page 4, 192, page 6, line 358, line 359, and line 365, page 16, line 955, page 29, 1734, 1739, page 32, line 1944, and page 51, 3159. So, let's move to our privilege hour. Any privilege from the member of the council?
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiron is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And before my privilege speech, I'd like to greet first belated happy birthday to our colleague, sir, Honorable Danilo de los Santos, and of course our SB Secretary, Mrs. Concordia Alcantara. May handa.
Mr. Chair,
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
where's the party?
Later.
Where's the party?
Okay, happy
Anyway-
birthday, Honorable De Los Santos, and our SB Secretary, Mrs.
How old are you?
Mrs. Alcantara.
May proceed,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Proceed, Honorable Pagsugiron.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Anyway, this with regards to the memorandum orders, two memorandum orders issued by our Honorable Ciceron Kawaling, dated July 17. And these two memorandum orders was issued on the same date, Mr. Chair. First is the memorandum order number 2017-89 regard to Senior Police Inspector PO3, no, Berhelio Caporal of Maritime Police Station sa Katiklan, Malayaklan. This with regards to the vendors and illegitimate intruders at snorkeling area. Please allow me to read this, Mr. Chair.
Proceed.
In order to maintain the proper sanitation and peaceful situations of the snorkeling area, I hereby order you to apprehend all vendors and intruders that are entering and sailing at the vicinity of the snorkeling area effective immediately. You are hereby mandated to conduct daily monitoring and reports relative to the above. No? For your compliance, Honorable Ciceron Kawaling. The other one is Memorandum Order number 88, series of 017, to Memorandum Order issued to Mr. Denrick Sajasa, Municipal Agricultural Officer, Mr. Virgilio Caporal, Head Maritime Police, and Mr. Samuel Torres, Supervisor of Bantay Dagat. This with regards to illegal collectors at the snorkeling area. It came to my attention that there are illegal collectors who are collecting fee at our designated snorkeling area in Boracay Island. Effective immediately, you are hereby ordered to apprehend and sanctions all illegal collectors and violators in our snorkeling area. Furthermore, you are hereby tasked to conduct daily monitoring and inspection in this area and submit reports to my office at the Boracay Central MRF and the Information Hall for effective and efficient operations of our snorkeling area. For your compliance, Honorable Ciceron Kawaling. Mr. Chair, with regards to this memorandum, I would like to suggest to invite these three personalities, Mr. Denrick Sajasa, Virgilio Caporal, and Samuel Torres, to give us, I think, update with regards to the jobs given to them by the Honorable Ciceron Kawaling in the next regular session, Mr. Chair, if possible.
Okay. So there's a suggestion from Honorable Pagsugiron to invite the stated personalities to attend to our next session. Kindly
Because Mr. No, my reason to invite them is because it's a long time already that there's a clamor on the issuance of fake tickets to the snorkeling area. So after getting these documents, so I'm thinking to invite these three persons so that we can get informations from them.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
And when was the memorandum issued by the Chief Executive?
The memorandum issued July 17, no? The same date, these two memorandum.
2017 or
Yes,
okay.
2017.
So address to the three
Addressed to the first memorandum, memorandum order number 2017-89, is addressed only to Virgilio Caporal of Maritime Police. And the second memorandum, series of 017, was addressed to three personalities, Mr. Denrick Sajasa of Agricultural Office, Virgilio Caporal, and Samuel Torres.
So with the chair,
Okay, Honorable
with the
Bautista.
same contention or purpose of that memorandum, the chair.
The first memorandum, this with regards to the apprehensions, I think, of vendors, no? Because vendors and illegitimate intruders at snorkeling area. And the second one is apprehend illegal collectors at the snorkeling area.
So
Okay,
for
Honorable
the
Bautista.
collectors is addressed to the Mr. Sajasa
Mr.
and
Sajasa, Virgilio Caporal, and Mr. Samuel Torres.
So I think the chair should just check from the office of the mayor if there was a apprehension being done. So before we can invite these personnel, our employees, maybe if they have some reports already to the office of the mayor, so no need of inviting them to explain to this plenary if they have already a report to the office of the mayor, the chair.
Okay. Honorable Pagsugiron.
Anyway, with regards to the suggestion of Honorable Bautista, we can do that, Mr. Chair, no? But with conditions that by next sessions, if there were no reports, so I will proceed to my uh, recommendations, Mr. Chair. And at the same time, if necessary also, that we will, because I'm worried about of the MOA, no? Because until now, the MOA was not signed by the concerned parties, Mr. Chair, the barangays, the MFSA, and the mayor. So I don't know what happens to that MOA, no? It's more than 1 month already after we pass, no, we approve the resolutions authorizing the mayor to sign the MOA, Mr. Chair. So if we can include that in our query to the office of the mayor, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Mr.
Honorable
Chair, because
Bautista.
I'm sure if there was no action taken by this the personnel, there must be already some sanctions to them, no? If there was no compliance. So in fairness to this people, so I think we have to check from the mayor if what have they done regarding the memorandum issued to them, and maybe if there was nothing had been done, so what's the use of that memorandum anyway? So nobody follows that memorandum, so it's useless. So within a week, Mr. Chair, we have to get a copy or any report from this personnel if to assure and to check if there was really a compliance with that memorandum, Mr. Chair, or else we have to invite them next session.
Okay. So, okay,
Mr.
Honorable
Chair, actually,
Pagsugiran.
for the informations of the members of the August body, no, nakausap ko ito eh. Especially ang ating maritime, mayroon siyang mga nireport sa akin, but ayaw ko lang pangunahan, no. That's the reason why gusto ko invite sila para sila mismo magsabi dito what is true at kung anong totoo ko sa kanila sa nangyari dyan sa snorkeling area, Mr. Chair.
So, Mr. Chair,
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
it's good observation, but I think it's not proper that this Inspector Caporal will just report it verbally. We're not reporting it in a written report to the Chief Executive, since there was a memorandum issued to him. So, and what had they done if he knows something irregular in that area? So he must do something with that, since he has already a memorandum issued to the mayor to act immediately. So there might be a neglect of duties on the part of that of Maricom, Mr. Chair, and he will be liable for that.
That's
Okay,
why.
Honorable,
That's why, Mr.
Pagsugiran.
Chair. For the meantime, I go with the suggestion of Honorable Bautista first to instead of inviting them, so we'll first inquire from the office of the mayor with regards to these memorandum orders to these three personalities. But as I said, in our next regular sessions, if there were no reports given to us from the office of the mayor, so I will proceed to my recommendations to invite these three personalities, Mr. Chair.
Or Mr. Chair,
Okay,
can I
Honorable
ask
Bautista.
our good gentleman from Manok if after Inspector Caporal mentioned to him about what he have saw on that area, did he ask the Inspector Caporal if he reported it to the office of the mayor? What been the observation of that since there's some irregulars in that area, and that snorkeling area? Did he ask for that Inspector reported that what had been reported to him?
Honorable Pagsugiran, kindly react.
What is that, Mr. Chair?
Yeah, if
I-
you
Can you
if you had asked Inspector Corporal
Caporal.
whether he reported the incident to the office of the mayor.
Yes, that's according to Corporal, no, Mr. Chair, that he was able to report. I don't know if it is verbally or he gave the report on black and white, Mr. Chair, but he, of course, approached the mayor and report what being transpired in this snorkeling area, Mr. Particular to the collections of snorkeling fees, Mr.
Can you, we're just curious. Can you please state that incident? So we have an initial report. What incident
only
did happen?
only last week, no? Last week, Caporal and Samuel Torres approached me in my office in Boracay, and we discussed this, and so that's why I bring this matter to the plenary, no? So that we can, of course, to inform also the members of the August body, Mr. Chair, no? So that we can come up some, some recommendations, Mr. Chair. And the reason also, Mr. Chair, for the records, because before, no, when I asked a copy or records from the Treasurer's office, imagine, Mr. Chair, that's why I'm bringing this matter, because this plenary, because imagine in 73 days, no, starting January 5 up to April 21, that's equivalent to 73 days, only 40,000 remitted to the LGU, Mr. Chair. And we have here also 7 days only. After that 7 days, they remitted 80,000 pesos, Mr. Chair, no? And 3 days, they remitted 80,000 pesos. Another 5 days, they remitted 80,000 pesos. That's why I was surprised. For the period of 73 days, the collectors only remitted 40,000 pesos. So meaning, from January, yan, season na ito. This year, Mr. Chair, this records came from the Office of the Treasurer.
Okay. All I thought when we approved the authority for the mayor to sign the MOA, all I thought is that's the ending. Yung pala parang probinsyano, may extension pa pala yung problema. So anyway, if that is true, then we really have to find out, no? But we will go with the suggestion of Norbert Bautista that we will secure a status report from the Office of the Mayor regarding the implementation of the said memorandum. So, Mr. Secretary, kindly do the communication.
And Mr. Chair,
Honorable Bautista.
It's very alarming, Mr. Chair. So regarding the reports, there was already a collection report from the Office of the Treasurer. And why is it that the Treasurer did not do something on this? Did not investigate? What is it that for first 73 days, we have only a collection of almost how much? That's 40,000 pesos.
40,000.
So
40,000 for the
we're
records.
losing a big revenues in that area of the chair.
And in this report, no, our municipal treasurer certified this as correct, no, this report.
70, how many days is that, Honorable?
That's 73 to be exact.
It's more
Mr.
than 2
Chair.
months. And
Yes, and
as
only
we,
40,000.
yeah, as I can recall, the previous collection in a month's time, it was sometimes 200,000 plus, 100,000 plus. And what happened with almost 3 months, the collection was only 40,000. So it's correct, it's right. Honorable Bautista is right to say that it's alarming. It will, we have a target of collection. Our annual budget is 450 million. And if that is the case, then basi kung makuan pa kita, deficit.
So that's so, Mr. Chair. So I think we have to include the treasurer, no,
Treasurer's office.
to be on this plenary with the 3 personnel and of course the Maricom. If what happened in that looking area, where is it that the collection have been reduced, no, instead of increasing? So I think it's bad, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we will include the office of the treasurer and probably the office of the municipal accountant. And kindly ask also their offices to bring a comparative report from 2015, 16, and present year. So we will find out, okay? Any other privilege? Honorable Grapp is recognized.
Mr. Chair, good morning, and the guest and SB office. I'd like to raise the issue of I would say aton nga main road baga, all the roads all over Malay and Boracay ay medyo, it's really looking like a shanty. So it's like shantyism of Boracay and Malay, because you'll see the laundry being paraded in the main road, in the sight of all the tourists, even the underwear, all over. The fences are being used as laundry line, and plus the fences, the fence, the paders are also being used for advertisements of cigarettes, of drinks, or whatever, without any compensation to the municipality of Malay. I think it should be addressed, Mr. Chair. If you look around, the moment you arrive in Boracay, you will already see posters, stickers, laundry. I mean, how much do we value our dignity as people? Do we really look into us as somebody nga may ginatawag nga civilized? I think we also understand that laundry should never be paraded or never be seen by public. But as we see, you look around, it's all over. Even in the main tourist thoroughfare, it's all there. I would like to bring this issue to the plenary, because I think we have to do something about it, at least to parang isen man lang ang site naton nga will be a little bit clean. I would say, I don't want to brag, but in Barangay Mutag, I successfully did it. No laundry on the street, no stickers on the street without getting a permit from the barangay, with a time period that if they don't get it, we will get it, and their deposit, actually they will get a deposit, and we get it. It's ours if they don't clean it on time. Even those advertisement of a company, if there is a limit, if it's 1 month, they have to put it in 1 month, and after 1 month, they have to get it. And they have to pay a deposit to the municipality or the barangay. I think the barangay should impose that, Mr. Chair, more than the municipality, because you'll earn money. Katiklan can earn, Balabag, Manok-Manok, Yapak will earn a lot of money if you will charge this company from aside from the local government, the posters, the events like that, they're also getting, di ba? But the cigarettes delivered to the store, and suddenly they'll fill up your fence, di ba, with stickers without even asking permission. I would like to get the comment of the August body, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Pagsugiron would like to comment.
I think,
Proceed.
Mr. Chair, this is not the first time the Honorable Grab brought, not second time, I think third time already, because it's true. I don't know if this is an added attractions to the tourists, no? But of I don't know also, Mr. Chair, if we have an existing ordinance regulating the said concerns, no, Mr. Chair. So if there's none, so maybe we can enact, no, an ordinance regulating this, how do you call this? Itong laundry line, no, Mr. Chair, no, because it's true, because if we will not regulate this, because we cannot stop also, we cannot even sanction any establishments doing that, no, in front of their establishments. Maybe they can do. It's only on the along the roads, no, all roads, Mr. Chair, that we're going to regulate. Otherwise, if at the inside or inner portions of the area, I think there's no need to regulate, except all roads in Boracay Island, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
So maybe that's one way of curtailing the Filipino culture. So everywhere you can see it, and also by showing also that some pants are maybe displayed on the road by because it's, especially if it is branded.
I've new pants.
So new pants, new dresses there. So anyway,
from the ukay.
some barangays, Sir Chair, they have the ordinances. In Poblacion, they have that one.
Also.
Maybe we will review and then check. We can copy some of the ordinance in the barangay and then maybe introduce it to 3 barangays there in Boracay, or else the municipal, this body can pass an ordinance regarding the to disallow the displaying of in laundry, especially in the road, no, along the road. On the posters, the chair, we have the existing ordinance, so it's a matter of implementation.
Mr. Chair,
Okay,
yes,
Honorable,
Mr. Chair, may I say
Gra-
something? It's not detailed how the poster should be placed. It's not detailed.
So,
The
as long-
charges are there, but it's only for the company that normally organize events and stuff like that. They are charged. But as to the stores, the San Miguel, the suppliers of drinks and cigarettes and other products, no, never mentioned there. And that's very important because they just leave it there until years and years. Nga buko nun imot uso, pero dyan gyapon.
Okay. You may review the existing ordinance, Honorable Graf. As I can recall, when I was barangay captain of Manok-Manok, we have implemented that ordinance and make sure that after a month, because there are certain fees, we are getting the dimension and the timetable of those promotional stuff, and after that we take out all these posters. I have really
Are they paying,
campaigning,
Mr. Chair? Mr. Chair?
yeah,
Are
we
they-
are implementing it. So
Mga anli bagaran nga.
Yeah.
Honorable
Mr. Chair, that's so.
Bautista.
Then let's review the ordinance and especially on by putting up some band, Mr. Chair, so that if they will not after the, let's say for 30 days or 60 days after the period of lapse. So if they will not the one to, if they cannot remove it, so the municipality will be the one to remove it, and then we will from that to be portion of their band will be used for the expenses of removing all those posters, Mr. Chair.
okay.
So we just review the existing ordinance for more amendments, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So I'd like to ask Honorable Graf to do the revisit of the said existing ordinance together with Honorable Pagsugiron. Okay. Is there any other privilege?
Mr. Chair,
Honorable
just
Pagsugiron.
for informations, no, I have noticed that our access roads going to the beach, Station 3, is, is really very bad, no? So, parang hindi na talaga maganda tingnan doon, no? When I pass on that road going to Station 3, I think there's already in need for rehabilitations or kailangan talaga siguro kuha na yun, mabigyan ng attentions. It's not good for our tourist, Mr. Chair, no? So if we can refer this matter to engineering office so that they can inspect the area and come up some immediate solutions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay. Anyway, we are, I think, in the process of reviewing the budget. I don't know if it's supplemental or annual budget, so that we can we can incorporate a budget. We will have to allocate budget for the concreting, but not repair, because we have to take out all those old concrete road and change a new one. Honorable Aaron.
Per our MDC meeting, they said road station 3 is already budgeted out of the, so I think it's on the process of implementation.
Okay. Yeah, on that note, we will just remind the Office of the Municipal Engineer, no, to implement the said project. Okay. If there are no honorable Graf.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to also raise this issue, no, kasi until now we get all the blames in Boracay for whatever conditions or situation we are now. But actually, for the information of the public or even the non or even the tourist, we are earning 48 billion for the government in Boracay, in Malay. This little island and this very small municipality is earning 48 billion or contributing to the national coffer. And we are getting a portion for our era. But look at the condition of our island after this 48 billion. We have the national government, the provincial government, are not investing in our island despite the income we're getting. As normal person in our household, if we know that your hotel is getting a lot of money, you invest, di ba, to new things, to repair, to renovate, to buy new things. But as to our island, it looks different. It looks the opposite. The more we earn, the worst service we get from the national government. First, they built us drainage system that is not finished and is not finished and it's not working properly. That's the contribution of the national government. They also built us before an STP, sewage treatment plant water. It's good that it already was sold to Ayala. That's why it's our STP, our sewerage is working better. They built us a hospital that is not working. Also, despite the status of our tourism and our number as a municipality that's touted or being number one or the highest earning municipality. We have electricity system supplier that is always brown out, and it's never changed despite the success of our tourism in Boracay. Brown out there, brown out here, brown out every time, and there's always an excuse, but you'll never see something concrete that is being provided to the island to augment mag-balance ang aton nga sitwasyon as a tourism destination and the how you call that, the investment of our government. Our jetty port is there, but there are a lot of things missing there. Nothing for the elderly and the PWD. The system going in is difficult. You get wet if there's happen to be bus loads of tourists coming in. You'll be waiting on the street before you can come in because the entrance they diverted into I don't know why make it easy when we can make it hard man sa manabatan ang mantra. And then our internet system that is of course also not working. And the worst is our road that is butas-butas. I mean, have you ever seen a first-class municipality in the Philippines, or at least like that, with a status, with a road like that? I don't think so. But despite so much money that we're earning now, the service we are getting or the investment of our government is never enough. I mean, it's parang kuripot ba? Manasa uwa kita ginataw it attention. They will end up pointing fingers and afterwards blame the local government for our situation. But actually, come to think of it, sometimes if we tell it to our tourists or even the people living in Boracay, they don't know that story, Mr. Chair. And I think it's about time that the municipality shall issue a sort of official announcement on the newspaper that this is the situation in the island. The reason why you have a bad road is because it's never fixed. Doesn't belong to us. Our hospital is not open because of this reason. You know, nobody knows that. And I think it's time for the people, since I will be using this venue because I know it is seen all over the world, also in is it live streaming in there? You know, Mr. Chair, that's my serious, I feel so bad. Do we deserve it? Is this all we can do? Do we accept it? Yun na lang ba? Mr. Chair? Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Bautista.
Anyway, I already brought that matter many times here, Mr. Chair. But I'm sure the solution there is federalism, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
So I think we have to move and support the federalism, Mr. Chairman. So I'm sure that that problem will be solved if we have to change now into a federal system of government, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Any other reaction? But we would like to inform Honorable Graf that the hospital is not under the national government. It's under provincial government. The road, on the main road, is being maintained by the provincial government. But the other access road, it's our responsibility from the LGU. So you might need to coordinate with the Office of the Mayor, other projects that are under us, so it can be implemented the soonest possible time. Okay? So if there are no other privilege, we will proceed to our question hour. I would like to ask our good secretary to invite and recognize our guests this morning.
For the question hour, Mr. Chair, we have Engineer Evelyn Atanan, Mining Engineer 2. Ma'am, are you present? Miss
Please come
Lara
forward.
Artao.
Please come, take the front seat.
Ma'am. And we have also Miss Sarah Bonacoa, our geologist. Ma'am, please occupy the seats, ma'am.
Okay, so we would like to acknowledge our invited guest, Engineer Evelyn Anatan, Mining Engineer DNR, Miss Lara Artajo. Where is Lara Artajo? Here.
Mr. Chair?
Miss Sarah Bunakwa. Wala din. Okay, Honorable
May
Magsugiro.
Magarso, sir.
Mr. Chair, I move for the suspensions of the roll in order to entertain our invited guest.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Pagsugiron to suspend our rules, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So our rules is hereby suspended. So let's proceed to the inquiries to our invited guest. You were invited.
Mr. Chair, I think this
Honorable
is a
Bautista.
little request to attend the disciplinary to present some, I don't know what will be presented to us. There was a letter, I think, addressed to the Sangguniang Bayan that they will be presenting. Yeah. But anyway, Mr. Chair, I think we can ask from them if to explain or to tell us what really the purpose of presentation. Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
okay. So, ma'am, can you explain to us what's the purpose of your attendance?
Yes, sir. Good morning, the honorable body of Sangguniang Bayan of Malay Aklan. Thank you for accommodating us. Actually, sir, we sent a letter requesting for an audience with the SB of Malay. This is part of our information education, the IEC program of the office that we are disseminating information, particularly on the geohazards. We conducted geohazards mapping and assessment of all the municipalities, so we are now disseminating the results of the assessment to all the SBs, all the LGUs in Region 6, and at the same time, some updates on the policies concerning the management of our mineral lands and resources. So if you would please allow us to make our presentation.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
Thank you, ma'am. So with that, ma'am, so we are very appreciating your presence. And sayang, we did not able to invite our MDRMO, our zoning officer. So supposedly they must be present there so that they will know what really the status now of our. When we talk about the geohazard, no? to in what area those what of the problem maybe. So can we invite some? Maybe we can.
There is a schedule on 29 August
For
for them also for an IEC with the barangays.
yeah, I mean for the MDRMO, supposedly it should be here, and our zoning, our agriculture, our environment, maybe it should be present. But anyway, this will be only echoed, Mr. Chair, to those department heads. What will transpire in this discussion, Mr. Chair?
Okay. Okay, you may start the presentation, ma'am. What's your name again, ma'am? Would you please introduce?
I am Lara Artajo. I'm the information officer. Our mining engineer, Ms. Evelyn Anatan, and the chief of our geosciences division. She's our senior geologist, actually, of the office. Chief geologist. Senior in the sense na they are the foundation of the office, Ms. May Yukoko Magarzo.
Okay, you may proceed with your presentation, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I'll be presenting the Geohazard Assessment and Mapping Program of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. So, regarding the request of the Honorable SB member, there will be a separate IEC for barangay officials as well as the MDRRMO and MPDO this coming April 29. August 29, okay. So, I'll just be presenting an overview of what we are doing regarding the geohazard and assessment and mapping program of our office. So, before we start with, we had to define what is geologic hazards or geohazard. So, geologic hazards is an earth process that upon interaction with human activity causes loss of life and or property. By earth process, we mean a natural event that occurs within the lithosphere or crust, hydrosphere, or our atmosphere. So the most important thing in this definition is the one that is underlined, which is causes loss of life and or property. So any natural event that don't have any effect on our lives and property, they will be just called as hazard. But when it affect or it can cause loss of life and property, then it will be called as geologic hazard or geohazard. So for the background, MGB has been conducting geohazard assessments since 1960s. So long time ago, we are conducting that type of survey, but it was not given any attention because during that time, hazards or geologic hazard is not that that worse as of this time. So the next thing is the Cherry Hills incident in 1999 highlighted the need to conduct geohazard assessment. So this brought about the issuance of Department Administrative Order 2028, wherein the geohazard identification is an additional requirement for the issuance of environmental compliance certificate. So before subdivisions or other infrastructure projects are given an ECC, it will pass through the Mines and Geosciences, not for determinations of any mineral properties or mineral contents on that site that will be developed, but more on the identification of geologic hazard that will be present in the area that will be developed. So that leads the issuance of DAO 2028 by then Secretary Ciriles. So the next thing that happened is the Ginsagon landslide in February 2006, and then this incident it killed almost all the people in that community. So it brought about the issuance or the urgently called for a substantive and effective effort to address the geohazard problems of the country. So then the President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo directed the MGB DNR to immediately set out to rationalize and speed up the implementation of the National Geohazard Assessment and Mapping Program. So that directives give birth to the National Geohazard Assessment and Mapping Program or country. So what is the objective of the DNR MGB National Geohazard Mapping and Assessment Program? It is an ongoing priority undertaking of the DNR MGB that aims to identify areas in the country that are susceptible or vulnerable to various geologic hazards and increase public awareness in order to lessen or mitigate the negative impacts of these events. So the MGB is mapping to it's not called as geohazard, but it's more on hydrometeorological hazards. So the first is the landslide or guho, wherein it is defined as ang pagbaba ng lupa, bato at putik dahil sa gravity o batak na totaral na hila ng ating daigdig. So we are mapping the rain-induced landslide. So it means if rains occurs and a landslide happens, so MGB is the one who conduct the assessment. If there will be an earthquake and landslide occurs, then it will be the responsibility of PHIVOLCS or Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology to conduct the assessment. Next slide, please. So these two, amo na ang amon nga pag-divide sang work when it comes to landslide, wherein MGB is in charge of mapping or assessing rain-induced landslide, while PHIVOLCS is assessing areas for earthquake-induced landslide. So we also map the flooding o pagbaha. So instead of Pag-asa doing the mapping, the MGB is the one in charge of mapping this flood, because all over the country we have geologists. So Pag-asa have given us the task of mapping this flooding susceptibility of the whole Philippines. Next slide, please. So during the time of President Macapagal Arroyo, we conducted the 1:50,000 scale geohazard mapping and assessment, that is in year 2005 to 2010, wherein we produced the 1:50,000 geohazard map. So this is an example of the 1:50,000 scale geohazard map of Western Visayas. For landslide, we have 3 colors. For red, we have the high landslide susceptibility. And for the green one, we have the moderate landslide susceptibility. And for the yellow one, we have the low landslide susceptibility. For flooding, we have also 3 colors. Dark blue for high flood susceptibility, flood heights of more than 2 meters, and flood duration of more than 3 days. Violet, dark violet for moderate flood susceptibility, flood heights of 0.5 to 1 meter, and flood duration of 1 to 3 days. While the light violet or lilac is for the low flood susceptibility, flood heights of less than 0.5 meters and flood duration of less than 1 day. So at the time, during the time of President Aquino, we conducted the 1:10,000 scale geohazard mapping of all the municipalities all over the Philippines, municipalities and cities. We have conducted it in 2011 to 2014. So this is an example of the 1:10,000 geohazard map of Region 6. As you notice, wala dira ang Negros Island region because during that time, NIR is a different region. So right now, since President Duterte have abolished NIR, so we will be showing also Negros Occidental because Negros Occidental is part of Region 6. So in contrast with the 1:50,000 geohazard mapping, we have 4 colors, considering that the maps, although it has a large scale, smaller scale, it has a large map. So we added one color, that is the brown color, which represents areas that are very highly susceptible to landslide. So as you could see brown color in red portions, sometimes brown color in green portions. And then the same thing with 1:50, we have the red, green, and also the yellow, which represent high, moderate, and low susceptibility to landslide. Next slide, please. For flooding, we also add another color, the very dark blue color, which represents areas that are very highly susceptible to flood with flood heights of more than 2 meters. Because we have observed some of the rivers have a bank height of more than 2 meters. So the rest will be the blue for high and dark violet for moderate and light violet for low flood susceptibility. So for our methodology, we have this interpretation and analysis of remote sensing data, which consists of aerial photographs, satellite imagery, and other thematic maps such as geologic map, drainage map, slope map, and vegetation map, before we come up with the ratings of in areas, whether it's high or very low or low susceptible to both landslide and flooding. So an illustration before we come up with the geohazard maps, we have these different types of maps that we are superimposing before we can have this landslide potential or floods potential maps. So as for the information of the body, our maps is based on a worst case scenario. So it means it's 50 to 100 year cycle. It's not a short cycle, but it's a worst case scenario. Next slide, please. So we, aside from the aerial photo or aerial satellite imagery interpretation, we conduct field assessment or ground truthing. So we go all over the place to map out landslide prone areas and also flood prone areas. Example of the flood marks that we are looking for if we assess the area, kung what type of susceptibility flood sa ng area. Next slide, please. So what is the difference within the 1:50,000 to 1:10,000 scale geohazard maps? During the 1:50,000 scale map, although the scale is big, we have small maps. So based on the 1:50, there are cases wherein in the 1:50,000 we could see 3 municipalities in just one map, and we only concentrated on one on the barangay proper. But when we did the 1:10,000 geohazard mapping, the scale is small but the map is big. So we do not only concentrate on the barangay proper, but all poroks and sitios of the municipalities, as well as the important infrastructures of the areas such as the barangay hall, daycare center, schools, and health centers. And also we assess relocations, resettlement sites of communities affected by disasters, assess the suitability of existing temporary shelters and evacuation centers by LGUs, issuance of geohazard certifications for relocation resettlement sites, government infrastructure projects based on the Joint Memorandum Circular 2014-01. Next slide, please. So, after the Yolanda incident, there was an Malacanang Administrative Order number 44, wherein the title of the administrative order is streamlining the process of issuance of permits, certifications, projects in Yolanda affected areas, directing all government agencies concerned to observe the same and imposing sanctions for non-compliance. So, this principle give us the what we call the Build Back Better after the Typhoon Yolanda. So Section 3 gives the time periods wherein the heads of agencies or their designated signatory and LGU shall dispose or house-related certification, clearance permit, or license within the time period prescribed. So these are the time periods for all agencies to issue the corresponding certification for housing projects for Yolanda affected areas, or what we call the Yolanda corridor. For MGB, we are issuing geohazard certification. We have to issue it 2 working days upon the receipt of the request. And other agencies, makita nyo dira. So aside from the AO 44, next slide please, effectivity of this AO will be up to 3 years only, and it will end on the 20th of October 2017. So after this, we are not mandated to issue geohazard certification for housing project in a span of 2 working days. So next slide. Aside from the EO 44, we also have this Joint Memorandum Circular 2014 dated November 5, 2014. So why it is called Joint Memorandum Circular? Because some of the agencies are signatories to this circular, wherein it composed of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, the Department of Interior and Local Government, the Department of National Defense, the Department of Public Works and Highways, and the Department of Science and Technology. So what is this Joint Memorandum Circular? It is the adaptation of hazard zone classification in areas affected by Typhoon Yolanda and providing guidelines for activities therein. So based on Section 6.3, hazard zone classification and recommendation, it means this is what we call the no-build zone. So for areas that are low, moderate for flood, housing development can be done in these areas that is classified as low and moderate susceptible to flood. But on areas that are classified as highly susceptible to flooding, there could be no development. For evacuation center, only low for flood could be developed for evacuation center. Moderate and high for flood, no evacuation center could be developed. Next slide, please. For landslide, the same thing with flood, low, moderate could be developed into residential areas, but for high, susceptible sa landslide, no development could be made. Also for evacuation center, only low for landslide could be developed as evacuation center. Next slide, please. Although storm surge, so there are only 3 types of hazard included in this section. This is the flood, landslide, and storm surge. So the same thing with the landslide and flood, only those areas that have low, moderate, susceptible to storm surge could be developed as resettlement or resettlement areas, while for evacuation center, only low for storm surge could be developed as evacuation centers. Next slide, please. Next. So we also provide geohazard information for local development planning. That is the one that we'll be doing this coming August 29. So next slide. What are we doing for information for this local government use for planning? After we conduct the geohazard mapping, we provide initial results to the LGUs in order for them to know their susceptibility to rain-induced landslide and flood. Your areas had been outsourced. It means your area has been mapped by private geologists. So I don't know if they have given you this initial report after they conducted the geohazard mapping in your area. So we also provide the geohazard map 1:10,000 scales of your municipality. Last year we have provided you with the geohazard maps in quadrangle strictly based on the 1:10,000 scale. So damo siya na sheets. I don't know kung ilang sheets ang Malay, but we have provided you that type of maps last year. But right now we will be providing you with this type of maps so that you could easily see what types of geohazards are present in your municipality. So we will be providing you this, sir, with this map. That map is glossy, waterproof. So we will be providing you with that map. Next slide, please. The same thing, we have the color coding. So for areas that are very highly susceptible to landslide, we have the brown color, and high sa landslide is red, low, moderate for green, and low for yellow. Next slide. And also for the flood, we have dark blue for very high flood susceptibility, light blue for high flood susceptibility, dark violet for moderate flood susceptibility, and light violet for low flood susceptibility. Next slide, please. So aside from that, we are also installing community-based geohazard warning signages. So if your areas, if you would like to have this tarpaulin, we could give you this, and it will be put up in areas that are very high to landslide or flood. We have two types of signages for flood and landslide, but you will provide the post only. We will be providing only the tarpaulin. Next slide, please. And we conduct IEC. So 29 will be your schedule for IEC. Next slide, please. And our geohazard map can also be obtained from this website. Next slide, please. So for landslide, we have provided this, kaya 10, we only make top 10 when it comes to landslide. So for landslide, for Region 6, Malay is number 7. And number 7, 1 to 10. So it's 7, ranked number 7. And the top 10 barangays for landslide is Napaan, Nabaoy, Sambiray, Katiklan, Kugon, Balusbos, Kabulihan, Cubay Sur, Naasog, and Dumlog. For flood, we also provided the top 10 for the whole region. So ano bala rank sang Malay? We also rank 7 for flood. So the flood-prone areas, top 10 is this one: Napaan, Nabaoy, Sambiray, Kataglan. Kung ma-notice nyo, ang high, may araman siya sa high sa flooding because this portion sang barangay, ara na siya sa mga lower portions. And those areas na highly susceptible sa landslide are those that are located in high elevation. Next slide, please. So we are now conducting, after we finish the 1:10,000, we are now conducting the VRA of vulnerability and risk assessment. And the output of this activity will be the risk exposure maps in terms of population, road networks, and build-up areas. So this is an example of the map of build-up areas exposed to very high and high flooding susceptibility of Sigma Capiz. So this one is for population, also for Sigma Capiz. And next is for the roads. So we have only finished sa Aklan Kalibo. And I think numan siya. For this year, I don't know kung nalipatan ko na ako ng target for Aklan. So other geohazard being mapped by MGB is the riverbank erosion. Next slide. Next slide. Next. And also the coastal geohazard mapping and assessment nga ginahimo namon siya. So ano bala ang output sa amuni nga type na survey? We map the coastal erosion and also the next slide please. So this is an example of coastal erosion occurring in Boracay Island. So as you could see from 2008, 2009 and 2011. So next slide please. So this is the one in the main beach. So as you could see, naka-expose na yung ilang ano na siya. I don't know kung ano na siya, imbornal or what. Manhole. So before I have observed mga 0.5 meters, but when we went back July 2011, it's 1 meter. Kaya ara na siya sa waist high. So it means 1 meter na nagnaog ang duta dira sa main beach. So we also map coastal landslide. Next slide please. So example ni wala pa kami kita sa Boracay. Next slide please. And this is the map that we are producing when we do our coastal geohazard mapping. This is an example of coastal erosion and accretion severity map. Next slide. And coastal shoreline ship map. So ini ang gina-produce namin when we do our coastal geohazard mapping. And the last that we are doing is the car subsidence geohazard sinkhole mapping. So muni ginamap namon sa mga areas na underlain by limestone, especially Boracay and also Malay. Since ara da sa likod sang inyo nga munisipyo, limestone na dira. So this subsidence or sinkhole can only be found in soluble rocks such as your limestone. So hindi ka mo mabati kung nagakatunaw ang limestone. Kuha ka mo sang example sang limestone, you put muriatic acid, then makita nyo nagabula-bula na siya. So it means ginatunaw niya na siya. So when rains come into contact into our atmosphere, it makes it to acid rains. So these acid rains, when it comes into contact with limestone areas, it slowly dissolves limestone and it produces sinkholes and minsan mga kuweba. So ini siya. Ang mga karst topography, very significant lang siya, o dala mo lang siya makita sa areas na may limestone. In other types of rocks, you cannot see this type of topography. So meron kitang mga parang mga mounds, and then you have your caves, underground water, no, mga tunnels. So hindi mo na siya makita sa mga volcanic rocks, but only in soluble rocks such as your limestone. Next slide please. So ito ang mga limestone areas na ara sa Pilipinas. Kung i-concentrate mo siya sa Region 6, ara da ang Malay. So part of your areas is underlain by limestone. So ano bala ang hazard na accompanied sa amo ng sinkos? You have your land subsidence. So ini ang pinakagrabe, hindi na siya, wala siya sang sign, bigla lang na siya nagapanaog, bigla lang siya nagakollapse. So very dangerous muni nga type na hazard. Next slide please. So ano bala ang causes ng sinkhole collapse? You have your gravity, lowering of water table, heavy rainfall, ground movement due to earthquake, panding of subterranean river, and subsidence and coral reef. Next slide please. So ini ang mga process wherein na-form ang sinkholes. So may ara kita sa first illustration, we have a bahay, ara sa dalom niya is limestone. So kung mag-ulan, amat-amat niya ginatunaw ang limestone, nagatako ang buho until such time gulpi lang siya makollapse. So ang balay na ara sa babaw ma-collapse man. So damo ning katabo sa may Bohol during the Bohol earthquake. Next slide please. May bag-o nga mabalay, bag-o lang construct, sang matabo ang linog, nag-collapse siya because ara siya sa sinkhole. So we have finished mapping Buena Vista, Guimaras, Kabangkalan, and ano pa ba? So this is the one previous slide, Lars. So ini ang amon equipment, ang kinastiling namon na ground penetrating radar. On the left portion, this is the ground penetrating radar we are using to map sinkholes. Next slide please. So in close, ari ni ang type, ini ang klase na ginagamit naman when we determine presence of sinkholes sa area. In fact, for your information, we have finished the preliminary assessment of limestone area in Boracay Island. And next step will be the use of this GPR to determine kung diin na ang mga sinkholes. Next slide, please. So this is the one, the equipment will have this image, and kung makita nyo yung daw may mga mata-mata, amuna ang image ng sinkholes. So makita nyo, dira may sinkhole. So kung dira nga line, kita nyo there are 5 sinkholes of different sizes. Next slide please. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your informative and cautious information. Is there any? Kindly use the microphone.
Your Honor, we will have another presentation, very brief lang, another, if it's okay with you.
The same.
Updates on policy issuances of the MGB. Just very brief, maybe 5 minutes. If it's okay.
Okay.
Very brief.
Just expedite the presentation.
Good morning. Actually, it's a very brief presentation, sir. Actually, if you would like, kung ano kita sa time, because it's really we could always leave a copy of that because it's very self-explanatory naman siya eh. So actually, it's the recent issuances pertaining to the mining laws, rules, and regulations sa aton nga present mining industry, sa aton nga present nga DNR Secretary and the former Secretary Gina Lopez. But you could always refer and read it on yourself kung gusto nyo nga hindi na kami mag-take time pa. Actually, it's very brief, sir.
May mga textbook ka mo regarding the supposed presentation?
Textbooks, sir,
Or
no, we have a
reference?
presentation there, and we could always leave a copy of that. Ang manami lang manggid kung mag-present kita bala because as we go on with the slides now, with the presentation, you might have questions now regarding mga specific questions or mga queries. So, but anyway, if you are going to leave just a copy of that without having a presentation today, you could always ask or inquire sa office kung may mga concerns ka mo. Hapos man lang ang tanan para sa aton eh. Very coordinative man ang aton nga office, so wala man problema, I guess. Brief lang siya, sir. So if you'd like, we'll just leave a copy of that.
Okay. Please proceed.
And thank you for the favor. Spare ako. Sorry. Okay. So, abi ko malibre na ko. Okay. So, good morning once again. Ang aton present secretary today is, of course, the DNR Secretary Roy A. Simato. Bago lang gid siya nag-take over, I think ang last June lang gid siya this year. So, ang aton naman nga MGB Director Subong is ang aton nga present nga acting director is Attorney Wilfredo G. Moncano. Actually, he is a mining engineer also, So, we have this Department Memorandum Order number 2016-1 of the former Secretary Regina Paz Lopez. She issued this for the conduct of audit of all metallic and non-metallic operating mines and prescribing a moratorium on the approval of new mining projects. So during that time gina-moratorium niya, no, ginhold niya ang tanan nga approval processing kag approval sang tanan gid nga mining project, so including the sand and gravel permits, no. So so during the audit, balik lang ko tayo balik. So during during those audits, ang results niya is may ara kita na issuehan with 2 show cause orders, may 22 nga ginpa-close, we have 12 past mine audit, nakapasar sila sa audit ni Secretary, and then we also suspended 4 and 1 for deferred action. So we will not dwell on that na lang siguro, depende kung ano ka mo. Next slide please. So we also have this MGB memorandum order passed last January 2017, no? It's all about guidelines in the implementation of the groundwater resource and vulnerability assessment project of the Mines and Geosciences Bureau. I think the one that is the Geosciences Division, headed by Ma'am May, is performing hasta subong, no? So ang iyang gin-present is part of that program, no? So ang pertinent guidelines, sige, it's super kadali, no? Sige te, okay. So you also have this memorandum circular number 2017-1, prioritization in the selection of target areas and metals, mineral commodities, and preparation of work plans for implementation under the Mineral Reservation Program beginning 2017. So as of today, aton sab nga gina-strengthen is ang pag-identify sa mga areas nga pwede naton for mineral reservation programs, no? So we focus sa aton nga future nga utilization sa aton mga minerals. Next slide please there. On the 75 mineral production sharing agreements, no, within sa watersheds, ang DNR also initially wrote show cause orders kay may ara kita yung mga during may mga ara kita nga mga no-go zones, no. So kung ara sila sa watershed areas, automatically gina-exclude sila sa mining application or for processing for mining application. So please. We also have the Department Administrative Order number 2017-10, banning the open pit method of mining for copper, gold, silver, and complex ores in the country. Kung ma-recall ninyo, very sikat kami sa TV, no, per me, so during the time of Secretary Gina Lopez, because she really I think she really hates mining, or she's just really very concerned for the environment. So ginban niya na, actually damo nagareklamo, but it's considered as a valid issuance. So it's effective na. And wala pa na siya na. So it's we also have this DAO number 2017-7, passed last March 10 lang gid, mandating mining contractors to participate in the Philippine Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative. Well, okay, actually okay gid man na siya kay syempre for the man sa aton economic boss na, no. So para mangin responsible tanan, equally responsible also sila when it comes to mining mining industry, as well as promoting its sustainability. We also have this TMO number 2017-1, exclusion of certain quarry resources from the mining moratorium. So because ginpass ni Secretary Gina Lopez last 2016 ang banning, no, moratorium, but eventually they also realized nga kung ano ka importante bala sa mga aggregates, ano balang ginagamit naton sa construction. So hindi mo na siya pwede iban, kading kita na makuha, no. So so that they amended, no, ang sang 2016 yang past nga moratorium. So may mga exclusions lang siya, so gin-amend niya lang certain provisions kag gin-exclude ang mga certain quarry resources, and that includes cement, aggregates, and related materials for construction industry, so such as limestone na mga amo na, so on process na liwat subong. We also have this MGB Memorandum Circular number 2017-2, clarification and the issuance of mineral processing permits. So I think dati pa man na siya nga So we clarified that contractors who are engaged in cement manufacturing and holders of quarry and industrial sand and gravel permits are not required to secure MPP. As such, imposition is a duplication of requirements. So kung may ara kay quarry or ISAG or mga contractors kasang cement nga like mga daw sa ano na ganito. As batching, mga batching hindi ka na included for MPP, no. So we also have this DAO 2016-29. So 2000. A DNR Freedom of Information Manual. So issued pursuant to EO number 2, dated July 23, 2016, entitled Operationalizing in the executive branch the people's constitutional right to information and state policies of full public disclosure and transparency in the public service and providing guidelines therefore. So, explanatory. We also have Memorandum 2017-309, strict monitoring of mining operations, impositions of penalties, sanctions on violations, and immediate remediation of effects and damages. Actually, daw gina-strengthen na lang man ang mga past nga laws pertaining sa aton nga monitoring, no. We already have thus intact nga mga measures kaga implementations regarding that. Pero mas subong pagay ginapaano nila, no. So we have these policy pronouncements, the 10-point economic agenda of the PRRD, no, aton present administration. So we focus on the continuing and maintaining current macroeconomic policies, including fiscal, monetary, and trade policies, no. So instituting progressive tax reform and more effective tax collection while indexing taxes to inflation. So may mga proposal for higher na siya nga mga taxes, no, when it comes to mining or minerals, then ang sa aton ng mga occupation fees, pero wala pa na siya na na perfect. Increasing competitiveness and the ease of doing business, drawing upon successful models used to attract business to local cities such as Davao, syempre, no, as well as pursuing the relaxation of the constitutional restrictions on foreign ownership, no, gusto niya ipahalugan. So I think ang iya nga mga bata-bata sa Congress or gina-review na nila kung paano paano na siya bala ma-attain nga muna nga pahalugan niya ang restrictions sang sang pagmina diri sa aton kay because we have this constitutional restrictions sang ownership sang foreign o kag ang local, no. So except with regards to land ownership, siyempre, no, kay bawal na sa aton nga constitution in order to attract foreign direct investments. So para ma-utilize gid sa maayo bala kay kung kulang biabi sa budget kung do hindi mo siya masyado masunod ang mga So, okay. Si ate, accelerating annual infrastructure spending to account for 5% of the gross domestic product, with public-private partnerships playing a key role, promoting rural and value chain development toward increasing agricultural and rural enterprise productivity and rural tourism, ensuring security of land tenure to encourage investments and address bottlenecks in land management and titling agencies. Okay, sa ilan na. So investing in human capital development, including health and educational systems, as well as matching skills and training to meet the demands of business and the private sector. Promoting science, technology, and the creative arts to enhance innovation and creative capacity towards self-sustaining and inclusive development. Improving social protection programs, including the government's conditional cash transfer program, in order to protect the poor against instability and economic shocks. And the last one is the strengthening of the implementation of the responsible parenthood and reproductive health law to enable especially poor couples to make informed choices on financial and family planning. Okay. So we also have this MGB5 policy directions. Number 1 is the minerals and metal-led industrialization initiatives. Strategies and value-adding activities for downstream processing of metallic mineral resources to ensure continued availability and security of supply materials and commodities, and thereby minimize risk to the economic growth trajectory by planning and establishing a robust mine-to-metal value chain. Next, please. Revisit regulatory and compliance policies as regards mining and processing of metallic minerals. Conduct an inventory and further exploration studies, if necessary, of the various natural resources in the country, especially the magnetite sand deposits, coal, limestone, nickel, chromite, and others. Next policy is the streamlining of application procedures. MGB has to be clear in its policy issuances, make sure that things are well understood, and the Bureau is able to cut down on the list of requirements and documents that have to be submitted to make the time of processing be shorter. Policy number 3 is MGB-led interagency coordination of regulatory agencies in mining projects. The management of the country's mineral resources will be done through the sharing of authority among the government agencies. No? MGB shall closely coordinate with other regulatory agencies in the approval of mining projects. Number 4 is the strong community relations programs, of course, to achieve the government's and the industry's common objectives on responsible mining and community development. To squarely address legitimate concerns, provide proper information to have shared perspectives of development options, encourage cooperation in order to build trust and shared goals and values, and ensure that host communities are deeply involved in the environmental protection and enhancement programs. To see to it that host communities are engaged in every step of the way towards responsible mining and adhere to the principle of subsidiarity, which recognizes that decisions should be decentralized and taken as close as possible to the people and communities most directly affected. So number 5 is the final land use options of mineral lands. To adhere to the principle that mining is just a temporary land use, to ensure that final land use options will be thoroughly discussed and consulted with the local government units, the communities and other stakeholders, to work for a greater collaboration between LGU's community, local civil society, and the industry will result in sound land use planning in management and determination of the most suitable and sustainable final land use. That mining in the country should be done in a responsible manner and should be based on existing laws, rules, and regulations. That mining can only be responsible if development of the country's mineral resources will be on the basis of technical feasibility, environmental sustainability, social acceptability, and financial viability. The absence of one will not render the project responsible. So this was quoted from the Undersecretary and former MGB Director Mario Luis Jacinto, no, ang ginpulihan ni Attorney Wilfredo Moncano. So that's the end of our presentation, and thank you for the time.
Thank you so much, Madam, for the presentation. Any question from the members of the August body? Honorable Grab is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is our MD Malay Risk is provided with a copy, a soft copy of the presentation?
Presentation,
Our
the geohazard.
risk of yes, ma'am.
They will be provided this coming August 29 when we do our
Presentation.
formal IEC. The IEC will be the participant for the IEC will be barangay captains and 2 kagawads or what, but for every barangay there should be 3 representatives of the barangays, the MDRRMO, the MPDO, and then representative of PIWD, representative of women's group, representative of IPs if you have, and SBs, and also the vice mayor and the mayor. So that we have already provided with a letter invitation to the mayor, and they have set the date on August 29.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Honorable Bautista.
So, Chairman, I am very much concerned on itong mentioned about the mga sinkholes. Hello. Sinkholes, Mr. Chairman. Especially in Bulabog area, yung mountain portion of Bulabog, Mount Luho. And we knew that yung bundok na yan is limestone. At saka may mga malaking structures na yun, Mr. Chairman, I know, wala mga ACC yan eh. So, it's very dangerous na hindi naman dapat i-map sinkholes siguro. Yan, no? Yung, ang tawag yun, GPR. So that we will know na ano bang status ng bundok na yan. Baka may sinkholes yan. At saka ang laki mga structures sa taas na wala nga mga building permits. So ano ngayon ang role ng Geoscience Office na mga structures dyan na we're talking of hazard, napabayaan lang. The DENR, na wala, I know, walang isisi yan. So ano na, we are going to stop that? O ano ba?
Regarding the sinkhole, sir, we have already started with the preliminary assessment of the areas. Unfortunately,
In Balabog, ma'am?
yes,
Okay.
all the barangays in Boracay, because it was requested by the provincial government office that we conduct this assessment. But unfortunately, the GPR could not be used in areas that are highly developed, especially on cemented areas, because the detector cannot detect any. If you place the equipment on top of the cemented road, maybe the reading will read the metal content of the cement. So that will prevent us really to conduct this GPR survey for the whole area of Boracay. Based on the initial results of our technical personnel, there will only be 3 sites that we could conduct this GPR, because in areas that is highly developed, we cannot use this machine.
Hindi naman highly developed yung bundok ng Bulabog eh.
So usually, sir, pag bundok, hindi pwedeng dalhin yung machine. Yung ano.
So paano natin ma-determine na
So
safe area?
makita namin siya, sir, kung dito siya sa ilalim, kung wala pang cemented yung area.
Wala pa nga, open yung Bulabog eh. Pero sa gilid niyan, dahil mayroon kasing report, ma'am, na may kuiba dyan sa ilalim niyan.
Sir, pag may kuweba na, it means sinkhole na rin yun.
Oo nga. So ano
Pag nag-collapse na yung cover mo ng inyong kuweba, then you will form this sinkhole.
So ano nga yung agency na makapag-stop ng mga construction dyan, ma'am?
Sir,
Aside sa LGU.
I don't know, sir, kung ano, we are only concerned with informing or mapping hazards in the area. As to the implementation, we can only recommend for the stopping of the construction or removal of the ano, but as to the implementation, we are not the agency.
Mr. Chairman, can we request
Honorable Bautista.
the GU, this is GU Hazard Office to conduct an investigation or assessment on that area, ma'am, especially as mentioned, some constructions ongoing. Then so that we have the basis of stopping this construction, ma'am.
Ano, sir, natapos na, sir. There is an initial assessment na that was conducted first week of August.
Okay.
First week of August.
So can we get a report or copy of the assessment?
You could
ma'am?
request it, sir, because we will be coursing the report to the provincial government's office, because they were the ones who requested for the conduct of such survey.
So,
The
yeah.
process for the government is we give the results to the one that is requesting. If you want to get a copy, you could just ask for a copy.
Okay.
Dira
So,
sa
Mr. Chair, I move that we have to request from the Office of the Governor to provide us a copy of the assessment report done by the Geoscience Department, Mr. Chairman. So that we have to check some areas there. Baka makibot yan kita nga may nahugog nga building to sa Buabog.
Okay,
Chair.
before we tackle the motion of Honorable Bautista, would like to ask if we can directly request from your good office.
Yes, sir. You could just write us
Okay.
directly.
So we don't
So
need
that
to.
the only thing that we want is for us to have a basis that we give you the report. That is why you could ask directly from us to have a copy of the report.
Okay. On that note, Honorable Bautista, we will just send them a formal request.
Mr. Chair, and I'm very happy that the DNR people are here, and then we are given this chance to know what's happening maybe in that area. So the earlier, the better. We have to do something now. Baka, yung nga, sabi ko, kasi may mahugog mga building baga sa Bugabog, nga bukid yun. Ag makibot lang kita, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
Okay.
yeah.
Honorable Aaron.
For the next IEC that is in August, can the barangay be given information also for guidance during the issuance of the insurance also? At barangays.
Actually, ma'am, based on the DAO 2028, the one that I have already given you a while ago, that there will be no ECC issuance without the geohazard identification done by the MGB. But unfortunately, some structures in Boracay, they were given ECC without us conducting the geohazard.
Wow.
If you will investigate, I have already called the attention of EMB regarding this one, because we don't know that some preparer, the one that prepares the ECC of the proponent, they make a package deal. Preparing this the IEE together with the MGB for us to conduct. Unfortunately, not all, but some of this preparer will just go to our office, submit the request, and then go to the EMB, telling the EMB that we have already told MGB that we have this project, so you can give us ECC. So unfortunately, after EMB is issued the ECC with the condition that they will submit this geohazard identification report from MGB, they did not go back to our office. They don't want to pay the fees for the conduct of this geohazard identification. So very few sa establishment dira sa Boracay nga naka-ano sa amon sang gear.
Okay.
Mr.
Honorable Graf.
Okay. Based on that statement, no, from our representative of NGB here, ma'am, you mentioned earlier na you've just conducted an initial.
Yes.
So it's just initial until. Are you going to finish it before 29th of August in time for the IEC? Because
Actually, ma'am, it's not an initial. It's just when we conduct this sinkhole mapping, we first conduct reconnaissance mapping, wherein we map limestone areas, and also we take note kung may mga caves dira, we put it in our map, and to determine kung diin kami mag-run sa amon GPR. So it's not actually yung preliminary, but in totality it's the survey itself, but minus the GPR. No, minus the GPR.
So, one question, ma'am. What will happen if a construction has a cave under and they just fill it up with cement?
Meron
like a
dyan.
support, di ba?
Meron dyan, may
Meron
nangyari
dyan,
na dyan.
Yeah, meron dyan isa. It was a big story actually, and the private sector was really concerned in the Bulabog area, no? So what they did was just to parang put a support under on the kuweba. So parang is it enough
Ma'am,
to support a 7-story building?
Muna, ma'am, unfortunately, we're not engineers. We're just scientists. It's up for the
So
structural.
what does the science say?
Sciences is very dangerous na siya, ma'am, except usually when pag limestone na, ma'am, we usually recommend light structure. Kay kung heavy ang structure, kahit may foundation siya, magko-collapse siya later on. Kaya mas naggadugang pa yung foundation niya sa bigat. So, yun po yung danger dyan. So, I don't know kung paano nila ini-appreciate yung ganitong warning sa amin, but it's up for the developer.
So,
kung gusto nilang mag-develop, we cannot prevent them. Kay pwede tayong kasuhan dyan kung ano na siya. Kay we have done lahat ng legal na mga papers for our construction.
Did they apply for NGB?
Actually, wala siya. Wala siyang gear. Kasi
Because
ako lang gumagawa ng gear tsaka yung isang kasamaan ko
So
dyan.
you know the areas that have
No, wala silang
Wow.
application sa amin.
Same-
It's only the ECC siguro. But I don't know kung may ECC sila. You just ask them
Okay.
kung may ECC.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Honorable Bautista.
Ma'am, okay. Dito sa ma'am, sa mainland, meron na ba kayong initial na assessment?
Sa limestone, sa sinkhole po?
Oo. Ito.
Kasi po, based sa work and financial plan namin, wala pa pong target areas dito sa Aklan. We already finished our target area dira po sa Hordan. So later on, we could have these proposals based sa work and financial plan to have your area subject to this ano ganit na siya, GPR.
Kasi ma'am, we are now in the second reading ng Malay Economic Investment and Incentive Code namin. baka may mga portion dyan na siyempre mostly sa area namin is mountainous eh. So, kailangan namin yung assessment dyan so that para naman na to be safe naman ang who will investing in some area sa Malay na we have the assessment report nga.
Sir, you could have this request sa amin. If we will not be able to conduct it, maybe yung mga MGB central office namin can do that for you. So magawa lang ka munang request if ever i-forward lang namin sa among central office.
So, okay, thank you ma'am. Mr. Chair, we have to do that, Mr. Chair, no?
Okay.
Since when protection naman sa mga investors in the future.
Okay, and we can revisit also our existing ordinance, no, sa land use, and because we can incorporate all these requirements that before granting them a building permit, we have to require clearance from the geohazard
MGB, sir.
MGB. And ma'am, I would like to ask also, all these man-made hazardous excavation, like in Wiscope, were you able to conduct a mapping on that area?
Actually, sir, we have already conducted na before, and we also required Westcove to have this detailed geohazard mapping sa ilang area, and all of the requirements were completed. So tanan man, sir, okay man yung papers ng Westcove. It so happened na kay nang magkadto kami sa area, ara ng structure, cannot do anything. But to tell them, hey, people, or hey, proponent, your area is ammonia ang hazard niya. So, cannot just say na because hazard siya, kuhaon naton siya. So, usually we just inform them and recommend some measures sa ara na hazard nga present sa iya nga area.
Ma'am, are you aware also that they have conducted the excavation along the cliff?
Wala kaming nakita,
Wala,
sir.
oo.
Basta yung structure lang nila ang pinakita nila
May
sa amin.
additional silang ginkot-kot.
Oo.
Diragin sa cliff kasi wala kung may mga anong tawag to kagina hole, ano to?
Sinkhole.
Sinkhole, ho. Kag dira magkuan ng landslide sa ulihi, wala?
Okay. Kay minsan, sir, usually pag nag-extend na sila, hindi na kami pumupunta kasi they already know kung ano yung present na hazard sa area nila, and andyan na yung recommendations. So pag may extension, di na kailangan pumunta sa amin kasi na-identify na yung hazard sa kanilang area.
Okay. So ma'am, thank you so much for your presentation and your time.
One more lang, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Bautista.
As I mentioned earlier, yung 50 to 100 years cycle.
Yes.
Kanina, ma'am, landslide or
Both
flooding.
landslide and flood.
Yes, ma'am.
Kay
Can you explain?
ang iba, sir, there have been some questions regarding the map of MGB, comparing it with NOAA. We can only say that our maps, like in the case of NOAA, they only have this area survey or satellite imagery. Then they do their map and modeling. For MGB, we have the satellite imagery and other types of maps before we come up with this geohazard map. We also have this ground truthing, wherein we conduct assessment, and it is based on the worst case scenario. Usually, yung mga structure natin, sir, hindi naman siya per 10 years lang, di ba? Hindi man siya pang 20 years. If ang gusto natin, forever na siya. So, our maps is based on the 50 to 100 year cycle. Okay, it's worst case scenario. So, in times of, ano bala ang worst case scenario na tabo diri? Maybe Typhoon Frank is a worst case scenario. So, kung ano ang level ng flood na nasuffer ng isa ka area during Typhoon Frank, dira na namon gina-base ang ila nga susceptibility. Kung ang ila nga flood height is 2 meters, then the area is high susceptible sa flood. And kung may landslide na tabo, 100% landslide will occur. So pag nag-landslide na high na siya sa landslide because it will reoccur.
Okay.
So how about, Mr. Chair, how about ma'am kung mayroong yung bundok na may crack na kagad? So talagang mag-landslide
Yes,
yan, ma'am?
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Lalo na kung may mga aggravating factors kita. Like in the case kung highly fractured na yung bato, pag nagrabe ang ulan, pumapasok po yung tubig dun sa mga butas, pinalalakihan yung butas. So in due time, babagsak siya. Tapos kung bibigyan nyo pa ng mabigat na structure, yun pa ang additional. Tapos pag tinaniman pa ng puno, pinalalaki ng ugat yung butas.
Butas.
Oo.
Okay.
So yun yun.
Okay, so,
Okay,
so
Mr.
the
Chair.
Chairman, thank you for this very informative, Mr. Chairman. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Ma'am.
Actually,
Honorable,
thank you, Mr. Chair. In a way, I'd
Consigliere.
like to thank only our presenters for providing us informations about geohazard assessment in Malay, especially in Boracay. It's good. I'm staying in Barangay Manok-Manok kasi doon sa Bulabog yata yung kano. Kasi as I look at the kwan, yung map, yung red represents na kwan yun eh. Kasi parang fault line yun, di ba?
Not exactly fault line, sir, because we only have active faults courtesy of PHIVOLCS. Kaya we're not an authorized person diri sa in terms of fault. It's only the PHIVOLCS. But based on PHIVOLCS maps, may ara kita dira sa nagatouch siya sa portion ng Boracay facing Katiklan, yung tinatawag natin na Tablas Fault.
Pero doon
Doon lang po
nagtatraversion
siya.
ma'am sa
Oo,
kwan, yung
doon lang po.
Balabag, no?
Doon po
So,
yung sa may facing dito sa Katiklan, yung
Katiklan,
portion lang po
oo.
na yun, tip ng Boracay Island. Doon po dumadaan yung sinasabi natin na Tablas Fault. So based po yun sa PHIVOLCS, hindi po based sa MGB.
Kaya nga ma'am, no, I'd like for your information, yung si Vice Mayor na mentions about West Cove, sa totoo lang kasi nagkaroon sila ng excavation doon dahil sabi nila magkakaroon ng landslide sa area nila or erosion. So in order to protect the area, kailangan nila alisin yun, no? So as per your information sa report nga kwan, hay daw ay isang lugar sa Boracay nga prone for landslide eh, no? Pero sa West Cove may landslide gid eh.
Actually po, pag
Anyway.
nakita nyo po doon sa coastline, lalo na po yung facing, yung mga cliffy portion, ibig sabihin po pang cliffy, yun pong mga matataas na portion, yung kanyang slope angle is at least parang na 90 degrees na po yun, yung tinatawag namin ng cliff. Pag malapit po siya sa shoreline, paghampas po ng alon, unti-unti din po niyang tinutunaw yung limestone. So mapinsin nyo, meron po siyang sinasabi namin na parang botas-botas sa ilalim. Tapos yung pag umakyat po yung level ng tubig, 'di ba? Usually kung saan siya yung pinakamataas, nagkakaroon din ng uka yun, 'di ba? So yun yung po yung action ng water na normal na tinutunaw din niya po yung limestone. So most probably kung unti-unti niyang tinutunaw, in due time magkakaroon po ng landslide. Yung tinatawag po namin na coastal landslide.
Okay.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Once again, thank you so much, ma'am, for your presentation. Okay. We will proceed to the next batch of our guests before we suspend our session. So, on the second batch, we have invited for the second time Mr. Alan Lieberman. Mr.
For the
Secretary.
second batch of inquiry, Mr. Chair, Mr. Alan Lieberman, President of Spider House, are you present, sir? Alan Lieberman. Mr. Lon Villanueva, Vice President of Spider House, sir. Mr. Christopher Sacapaño, Corporate Secretary of Spider House, present. Mr. Chair, Ms. Heidi R. S. Piguel, ma'am, the Treasurer of Spider House, Mr. Chair, and Ms. Marian R. Villanueva, the Board of Directors, Spider House. They are all present, Mr. Chair.
Okay, for the information of the body, I was informed, no, our office was informed that Mr. Lieberman is not available this morning due to another schedule of hearing with the Bureau of Immigration, no? Nauna nang sulat ito sa kay Lieberman. So the same schedule, and hopefully by next session we can invite him again to attend. Nevertheless, I appreciate that Mr. Christopher Sacapaño attended this session, the session this morning. So welcome to our session, and this is in continuation of the formal complaint by Mr. Lon Villanueva, Marian R. Villanueva, and Miss Heidi Miguel, no, regarding excuse. Regarding the operation of the spider house located in Diniwid, and according to the complainant last session, there were some reports involving other personalities, most especially on the issuance or the issuance of municipal permit. As I recall, no, according to the treasurer of Spider House, Miss Heidi, there were some budget allocation and were disbursed for the payment of the municipal permit, and also there was an allocation, and it was disbursed in the amount of 450,000 for the application of plug T. So it's good that Mr. Sacapanyo attended the session, so he can answer some of the allegation here and other inquiries regarding this issue. So any body from the members who would like to ask question?
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Graf.
I prefer, I don't know if everybody agree with that, Christopher will explain his role or his status in the corporation, or I think being the treasurer, Mr. Chair,
No,
so
he's
that we can start asking questions. Before we start asking questions, or do we continue from last week lang?
Or we will give Mr. Sacapanyo the opportunity to explain his side regarding the alleged
involvement in
in
the company. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
So there
we-
were issues like according to Mr. Sacapanyo that he sent us a reply on our invitation that he is no longer a corporate secretary. He resigned from his post. And the other issue is that according to their corporate treasurer, Mr. Sacapanyo is the one who processed the application of the municipal permit and had allocated the amount of 300,000, and another one is the 450,000 budget also allocation for application of plug T. So we will give the chance to Mr. Sacapanyo to answer all these allegations. Mr. Sacapanyo, welcome to our session, and you may answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Christopher Sacapanyo, and previously Spider House board secretary. And before I start, I would like to greet good afternoon the Sungunang Member Bayan of Malay, and of course you, Mr. Chairman. Pertaining po sa 300,000 for mayor's permit, is it true po, Mr. Chairman? And we received that amount for payment of mayor's permit, but there's no such mayor's permit na issue sa amin. We just advise them na since the Spider House earning at kumikita naman, why not na kahit magbayad lang tayo sa LGU na para makakontribute tayo, but the receipt is sinabi ko sa nila ng resibo is not a mayor's permit. It's a requirements to issue a mayor's permit. It's because sinabi ko sa kanila na may mga lack of requirements tayo, wala tayong hindi tayo makakomply sa mga zoning, sa mga kasi ang area natin is non-buildable zone. And pertaining naman po, Mr. Chairman, sa 450,000 for application of Palagti, yes, is it true? But that amount is nabalik na po, Mr. Chairman, sa corporate account. Kasi last July, the President of Corporation, Mr. Alan Lieberman, nag-follow up kay Ms. Heidi kung ano na status ng application ng Palagti. So ako, kinunta ko yung person na yan na nag-promise na makatulong sa amin to acquire ang Palagti. And naibalik naman niya yung on that amount sa amin, and we will deposit that in the corporate account.
Okay. Any question? Honorable Pagsugiro?
Thank you, sir. Gusto ko lang klaro yung so yung 300 so yung 300,000 intended for the mayor's permit. So wa pa mabayad ya.
Nabayad yun, sir. Mayroon kaming resibo.
So may resibo.
Yes, pero sa resibo ron, sir, is walang mayor's permit na iniso kasi walang hindi.
So can you provide us or a receipt on or how much kung magkano yung kwan?
Yes, Mr. Ma'am, mag-provide lang po kami
para at least for reference lang. Actually, ang concern lang namin kasi dito, tinitingnan namin kung although we're not questioning that amount, yung kwan namin is yung resibo. Kung kwan kasi kung titingnan kasi natin yung Spider House is may violations nga, so we believe that of course the local government is cannot issue or mayor's permit to operate of that establishment. So kung sino nagkuan, because it was the check was issued to sa Kainisa.
One thing pa yan, sir, gusto ko lang i-clarify. Wala pong check na nakapangalan na issued kay Nisa Quinto for payment of this mayor's permit. Sinabi ko po dati kay Miss Heidi, magbabayad tayo kay Nisa Quinto kasi siya yung nagkukulik ng ating payment. Wala pa akong natandaan at wala ring na si Miss Heidi na nakapangalan kay Miss Nisa Quinto na cheque. At wala din po sa records.
But according to Miss Heidi, na yung cheque ay pinangalan kay Nisa with your request. As per your request, no? So, can we hear from
good morning
with
po
regards to that?
sa tanan. Sobra so sir, medyo nagsala ako nga gangayo ako it apologize kay Nisa nga instead nga ang isa nga ginrelease namon nga si Maritis Gumbok hay si Nisa ako na pangalan dahil imo ang nagsulod sa akong isip sa ginhambal ni Christopher. Hay basi nagsala lang ako sa kato.
But we will
si Maritis Gumbok na sir sa check gali.
We will accept your apology. But can you provide us according to you, Abi, hay good na yung check no? So meaning
good gid man ang check sir, pero hindi ko masigurado dahil hindi nag-request kami sa bank copy check nga 300, hindi kami matawan. So pero ang sa nga to
sa anong bangko?
Balik na.
Gabalik sa ang said ko once you issue the check to certain persons, nagabalik sa sa
Oo sir, oo sir, nabalik man sa amon. Pero pag gin-check ko sa babaw, sa amon nga office, hindi ko makita ang kun mga files. Pero ang isa nga check nakita ko. Doon lang ako nakita yung isa.
Sa anong bangko? Anong
Metrobank sir.
sa Metrobank? Boracay branch.
Opo sir.
Okay, for the meantime.
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
So nakabuo ako yan, Mr. Chair, official receipt, no? So, sakto raro official receipt, pero bali, apat ka resibo, Ms. Heidi. No, yung asking for Ms. Heidi. May date of payment is ibahan ba sa 300,000 raro, Kwan? The date of payment, January 26, 2016, na 37,000, and then same date 54,000, so 91. And then in 2017 January 23 56,220, and then January 31 2017 is 99,000. So kung totalo nimo is 247,220. Ito ba yung kwan ng 300,000 composition?
Basta pag nag-release lang ako sa ana sir 300. So wow na ano kung pila nang ginbayaran karon. Basta yun lang.
Pero imo gid mo resibo ra isyo?
Oo sir, basi sa ana batado ibang do resibo ay imo gakapot mga resibo. Si Christopher sir.
Bukod ikaw ikaw ro cashier?
Imo mo secretary sir, imo gakapot mga papel.
Sige. So ano naman sa chairman? So may ginbayaran gid man sa chairman sa sa this office. So i-check lang siguro kung sakto man rato sa sino to si Gumbok? Ang mention nimo si
Marites Gumbok sir.
Ano maron?
Ako kakilala sir.
Sino ni mo tope? Si Mr. Gumbok? Miss Gumbok? She's not an employee ng munisipyo. So anybody knows Marites Gumbok? Anyway, thank you Mr. Chair. To our composition 3,000 siguro. For 247, so may kuwang ko ng mga 50 plus.
Mr.
Baka service fee.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Consilero.
Sino nag-issue resibo?
Basta pirmado lang Mr. Chair, lang kwan. Di sa Juso, may pirma, initial.
So ang nagpirma lang si Kwan, Treasurer's office, si Lucy.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Lucy is not aware that Spider House may violations. So anong matabo dahil may violations ang Spider House, I believe nga hindi kita maisuhan use permit to operate dahil may violations. Otherwise, pag nag-issue ang local government, ay balikan kita karan, no? So ano matabo karan na hina-issuehan, so pwede ibalik ang amount.
Siguro kung ang purpose ang purpose siguro is only for collection, as mentioned kay nanitupi nga para lang may mabayad ang may share man ato mo na may share man ro Spider House dahil may kita sa munisipyo even without any mayor's permit, basta as long as may payment sa munisipyo, may share.
Pero but for the records, Mr. di ta pwede nato nagsiptahon dahil lang sa revenue, no? Dahil una-una hindi gani kita maka-issue, no? Ang local government may permit to operate. At the same time, di natin pwede dahil kung mora ng basihan it's Spider House nga since nga nakabayad, ay pwede na maka-operate. So that's why dapat may decision tang local government kan, especially our treasurer's office, nga kung pwede ibalik tang amount dahil in the first place hindi naton ang local government maka-issue may permit to operate dahil klaro 100% nga may violations ang ang establishment, unless kung siguro kung if there's another remedy nga maka-acquire sa data business permit, so dapat ay mag-agi na sa proseso.
Or maybe some undertakings, maybe subject for compliance, some requirements. So dapat gibutangan niya kuan note subject for compliance of some requirements or with undertakings, no? That they will be submitting the requirements within. So I don't know ano process, Mr. Chair, basta may payments.
Mr. Chair, but it is within the, I think, responsibility of the office to the mayor to determine, no, kung kailangan ibalik ang kwan, or is the mayor will decide to issue mayor's permit to operate, no? Pero sa ako nabi, since nga may violations ang establishment dahil nga gani sa area, so para sa akong kung Mr. Chair dapat ay ibalik ang amount nga ran sa nag-request.
Okay. Honorable Aaron.
If I remember last during the Ombudsman Board of Investment Forum, our mayor's office per executive assistant Ed Sanso is will collect necessary licenses even though there is a violation, subject to compliance later. But in this case, they have no compliance, they have paid already, so that is confiscated in the coffer of the LGU Malay, provided they will still comply for their compliance on buildings and occupancy permit. That is already in favor of the local government, the payments they made.
Mr. Chair, kung
Honorable
titingnan natin
Consigliere.
yung statement ni Mr. Ed, okay yan kung yung area is kung, like for example, you build structures in your property, but your property has no violations, like in setback, no? But that area is a no-build area zone, so meaning, di pwede yun. For compliance, what are you going to comply? Wala eh. Di ka mag-comply because the area is in no-build area zone. Build again. Bitter. Build back bitter. Hindi, sa ako na it's for the sake of discussion lang, no? Dahil mga issue, even Wiscov, di bala? Di may isuhan it build business permit and flying dog. They operate, wala namang problema kung nag-operate. Ang sa ako lang concern sa dahil ang area gani is a no-build area zone. So as long as kung ang barangay mag-issue it barangay certifications, the zoning, engineering will issue building permit, Mr. Chair. So it's up sa kanilang kwan yun, discretions.
Okay, Honorable Graf.
Sa may provision man abi kita sa ano ito ang ng aton 1064 yung something like that
Tourist zone.
Kung dyan ngun ang structure prior to the declaration ay medyo hindi ni mo masyado ma-question, although it's declared as a no build zone, but when they started wala pang ganun. So medyo there are issues here that we have to resolve in our level. Lima nga kagulo kita dahil nga ni ang mga laws again are very confusing. Somebody says this, and we are confused in the municipality as well as the people putting up businesses. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So wala pa question mo,
Honorable Bautista.
May mga report, Ms. Heidi. Ano ro pa nyo? Is there any tax declaration? May deklarasyon ba ang area nyo na? May tax deck ba? Or ano ang
Wala ko gakapot, sir.
Ya kay kwan, kay kina ano, sinyo sa kinaalan. Oo. Kayo na
Yes,
nakapangagan. Kayo na nakapangagan ng tax deck.
Bali sa airs patagihapon, sir.
Sa heirs.
Mm-mm.
So nabilong imaron sa total area ng property.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chair,
Honorable Consigliere.
siguro, Mr. Chair, in order to siguro, resolve this issue, since may tax declaration, siguro, we will refer this matter to Committee on Land Use, estudyuhan siguro, no? Estudyuhan, if there's possibility ma-reconsider,
ay importante ba dahil ako personally if there is a violation, so I will not support for that eh. Pero kung maaobrahan it pa rin like sa zoning dahil may ano to zoning
Local zoning board of appeals and assessment.
appeal committee, so kung ma-reconsider, so for the meantime abi dahil ang payment it's only a payment but that is not a permit to operate, no? So may violation. So that's why kung may tax declarations para at least ang tag-iya ay siyempre kung if they're paying for the property tax, no? Kailangan nanda may income. So tanawon siguro. So that's why I refer sa committee, Mr. Chair, para kung finally, no? Para kung pwede, kung hindi. So that's why we can declare that area is really not for suited for construction.
Mr. Chair, anyway,
Okay, Honorable Bautista.
ang owner man naghambang ng may anang deklarasyon. So, based on the recommendation, so why not, anyway, the gentleman from Manok-Manok is already recommending. He mentioned about the local zoning board of appeals and assessment. So, magdiretso lang sana siguro ito apply for consideration. And then it's up now to the LZBAA if they will consider the appeal sa chair para to in order to resolve the issue, and then with some maybe some compromise or some adjustments on the structures in order to just comply, maybe some mitigating measures or some compliance, no, on that problem, Mr. Chair, in order to have their business legalized, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we will take note of that, Mr. Lon. Marian, kindly ikuan mo lang, relay mo lang kay Lon. But let's go back to the main issue because ginpatawag na itong sanda by virtue of the formal complaint, no, regarding the operation. Actually, ang problema ni Lon, Mr. Lon Villanueva, is the partners, no, si Mr. Alan Lieberman. So, unfortunately, si Alan, ginpatawag man it immigration kay na regarding his working visa, tungod ba working visa, ag sige ang business, sige ang perform. Because according to the documents that were submitted by Mr. Villanueva, may SIC registration, ang president, or they have a resolution that the president is Mr. Lieberman. According to our law, hindi pwede mag-president ang foreigner. It's not allowed in our law. So, may violation lagi si Mr. Lieberman, plus ang gina-complain day Mr. Villanueva, nga ang set-up, mga dating imong president, ginpahalin, ginbuslan ni Lieberman, abo nga reorganization na ginubra. Nga ang ginapsaysay nanda, nga sanda ang nagprokurar negosyo para kumita. Anay nga nagkita, nagka-problema sa operation. Then here comes Mr. Sakapanyo, in good faith makunta nga mabulig, ay nagka-problema. So, ang aton lang obrahon, ang mga check, like for example, the one that were issued to NISA para madula sa isipitawo, kung pwede ka makabulkopya ka to nag-return nga check, nagbalik, no? Ang bala si Lieberman di lang na pag-ipataguon lang tungkol para makumpleto naton nga investigation, no? Siguro si Mr. Tupi request man naton nga buligan nimo nga maayos ang problema nanday Mr. Villanueva kay Lieberman tungod in the first place wa kamo it permit sa inyong building permit o what occupancy permit, and allegedly wa man kamo it mayor's permit pero nagbayad it OR nga supposedly hindi man dapat pagpatunon tungod wa gid kamo ka-comply it requirements, no? So this is subject for revalidation, all these official receipts. On the part man ni Mr. Sakapanyo, siguro sa sunod tungod government employee ikaw, ay pwede ka man mag-intra sa corporation, pero dapat i-declare mo sa salin nga you're a part of the corporation, you're earning this much. Tungod dapat i-declare na sa salin ran. Tungod kung uwa, may violation man ikaw.
Actually, naka-declare naman 2016 kasi wa mo certain amount dahil wa man abi abot na baton, Mr. Chairman.
Kung may ikot na baton, but according to Heidi, last session, may nabaton ikaw nga monthly nga allowance.
Karon lang, Mr. Chairman.
It's the same. Kung gabaton ikaw monthly allowance, that's compensation. Pag compensation, dapat i-report mo sa salin nga may imong allowance, monthly allowance sa corporation. So that hindi ikaw magka-problema. So, prositaya, kita nga sa LGU, dapat kita ang mag-giya sa anda nga mas mayad pa lang nga walang itinbayran. It's a magbayad kita nga hindi man gyapon tungod di kita ka-comply with requirements. All we can do is to help. Pares kay na gin-recommend ni Honorable Pagsugiron ag Honorable Bautista, buligan naton to makaapila sanda sa local zoning board. Ag siguro parehas man tambal ni Honorable Grap nga i-revisit naton ang existence at Spider tungod wa pa 1980s pa siguro kung kano paran prior to the proclamation of Presidential Proclamation 1064 prior to the CLUP naton o diyan sanda. So a matter of reconciling aton kung ano mabulig sa anda, but in the meantime kinanglan atubangon ni Mr. Lieberman ang inyong kin-complain dyan sa SB. Hindi mo pwede nga hindi magpakita dyan sa SB. Or otherwise, kung may inyong amicable settlement, kinanglan may ka-witness nga member sa Guniang Bayan. Either an SB member or the chairman, no? Kung may inyong settlement, tungod gin-brought up nyo dyan sa SB, ang jurisdiction dyan sa SB. So kung may settlement man, dapat may witness kita. Pero i-remind na ako si Mr. Lieberman nga illegal ang anang pagka-presidente, hindi pwede, tungod by law, hindi pwede mag-presidente ang foreigner. Pangaywa, wa imaw working visa sa immigration. Na-confirm ko sa immigration, wa imaw working permit, what working visa. So hindi mo pwede mag-operate it business. Hindi mo pwede katrabaho as president. Hindi mo katransaksyon sa bangko. Tungod, he is only a tourist in Boracay. So, hindi na pwede nataguan tanan ang problema na. Okay? So, next time, kung pwede, ay i-guide naton ang hindi man naton tanawan ninyo ang sitwasyon ni Lon. Kung imo man nga buligan na puti, mas dapat buligan nato ng aton kasi Mario gito naton pariente pa kamo ni Lon. May anak pa nga kapansanan, hindi mo kahambal. Tapos kung ano nang gusto't puti, sunod kita, hindi pwede. I for one hindi ko nila mo na obra puti. Illegal mo tanan obra na illegal eh. So hindi dapat imaw pa mag sa aton, mangibabaw. Okay? Honorable Pagsugiron.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang pamangkot kay Tupi, no? Because in his later address to the members sa ng bayan, nakabutang abidya ping you're no longer, no? You resigned from this party resort and development. What is true, no? What is this?
April 8, 2017, nag-file ako at resignation received by Mr. Alan Lieberman. Since then, wa ba proper quorum sa every time mag-board meeting kami para i-finalize ang akong resignation. But ang amon nga corporate lawyer, may na-obrat ang mga resolution para ma-finalize nga ma-out na ako as a BOD ag board secretary.
So you're no longer connected with the Spider Resort?
Based akong resignation, sir. Pero wa pa kami ka-perma at resolution nga officially nga ano na ako. Kasi ang nahula pa lang ay ang quorum ba lang nga sign sa resolution na I'm not longer any incorporate corporate secretary and BOD ng corporation.
So meaning, while waiting for the board nga may quorum, so you're still part of the management?
Since April to sir, hindi na ako wala na kaming hindi na ako sumasali sa sa meeting sa
Okay, Mr. Chair, that is only for the records, no? That Christopher Sacapanyo is no longer, I think part of the Spider Resorts.
Okay, and we requested Mr. Sacapanyo also to submit his written resignation with our secretariat, so we will put it on the record also. Honorable Graf.
I'd like to may question for the record also. When they changed the corporation members like the president, was there a secretary certificate made? And because that if he is part of the signatory, that will be submitted to the bank, diba, Mr. Chair? That there are changes in the signatory and the functions of the BOD or the officers. Was there ever a paper that assigns Mr. Lieberman as the president of the corporation? Secretary certificate? Anybody can answer? Maybe Christopher?
Yes, ma'am, mayroon po. Mayroon yata silang provide nung February.
Mayroon. May kwan ka mo, secretary certificate nga naisla ng mga opisyalis ron?
Hindi lang ako remember, Mr. Chair. Tanan abing nga files when it comes to files 8 corporation, ito tanan sa amon nga corporate lawyer.
But can you recall that you have signed secretary certificate? Because you're still considered a secretary of the board, because even though you said that you resigned last April.
Yes, I remember siguro mga February or March, nagkapirma siguro ako, Mr. Chair.
Okay, but electing Mr. Lieberman as the president is illegal. So all the actions after that supposed election is illegal also, and it will be null and void. Hindi mapuslantan na inyong mga resolution. So you have to go back with the original setup of your company. Mga matabo. So in the meantime, saan ikaw na-assign sa atin sa Gio? Anong department ikaw?
Sa zoning office po.
Oh, with more reason, nga hindi ka dapat mag-intra sa corporation because they have problems with zoning. They have problems with their building permit. So there will be a conflict of interest if you are still joining the company. So if I were you, I would like to advise you that resignation, I think, is best option on your part at the moment. Honorable Bautista.
Mr. Topi, aside sa board secretary, ikaw, board of director ka pa?
Yes, sir.
So meaning you're an incorporator sa kumpanya?
Yes, sir.
So may share ikaw, stock?
Dami lang.
For the record nga, sa based on your corporation, so stockholder ikaw? Ilang percent? No, you cannot be an incorporator unless you have the share.
Member.
So anyway, Mr. Chairman, we will check later. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So any other question? Okay. So the next session, I would like to invite again Mr. Lieberman. No? Lieberman. And of course, the complainant should attend also. Unless you have a compromise agreement, no? Prior to the invitation. But it will be witnessed by members of the Sangguniang Bayan, the chairman or some members of the Sangguniang Bayan. Okay? Okay, so thank you for coming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Session is suspended for lunch.
Confirmation from the legal authorities or from any intelligence community is still broadcasted to the
That's why we invited you to join our interaction, and that's why we would like to inquire that
to besmirch my or to destroy my reputation, dignity, and my personality, even members of my family.
Para ma-improve talaga yung aming
is resumed. Let's proceed to our incoming and referral.
Mr. Chair, for our incoming and referral, number 1, the referral of the MPDC zoning administrator for endorsement of the application for zoning and building permit of various applicants in Boracay, Malay. This is from Ms. Cristina P. Veloso.
Referred to Committee on Laws. Ay. Okay. Okay. Referred to Committee on Housing, Land Utilization, and Building Construction.
Number 2, Mr. Chair, the request of the Municipal Mayor for authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Land Bank of the Philippines for the construction installation of ATM machine booth at the ground floor municipal building.
Referred to Committee
Mr.
on
Mayor,
Laws.
Mr. Chair.
Honorable Bautista.
Ang referred to committee on, as in, oro mga, may pilang bilog ron? Okay.
Bilog mo lang.
May appearance. Ang sa bilog, okay lang sa bilog. Ang sa Boracay ito, sa bilog pa.
Daywa Malay Reg
Sino sa
Session,
bilog?
Ms. Cristina P. Veloso, and the other is
Oo.
Maria Rosario F. Rojas.
Boracay na naman?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Chair, the Vice Chairman, possible, i-refer sa Vice Chairman for inspection tomorrow, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so we'll refer it to the Vice Chairman of the committee for inspection.
Just provide me
Yeah.
information, no? Contact informations of the proponent.
Okay,
Noted,
so
Mr. Chair.
proceed.
Number 2 to Mr. Chair, request of Municipal Mayor for authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Land Bank of the Philippines for the construction installation of ATM machine booth at the ground floor municipal building.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
Number 3, referral of the Office of the Mayor on Resolution Number 1, Series of 2017 of Barangay Kabulihan.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
Number 4, request of the Municipal Mayor for authority to enter into a memorandum of agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources and the Philippine Airlines Incorporated for the protection and conservation of the remaining beach forest ecosystem and its wildlife resources in Barangay Yapak, Malay Aklan.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
Number 5, application for
Mr. Chair, can we include the Committee on Environment in this request for the MOA with the
DNR.
DNR? Dahil nakita ito, Mr. Chair, may problema ito lugar nga rin, di ba? Sa Pocabitsa siguro, Mr. Chair?
Okay, so we will ask the Committee Chairman on Environment to join the Committee on Laws for the review.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Number 5, Mr. Chair, application for re-accreditation of Westmint Transport Association Incorporated.
Refer to Committee on Tourism, Industry, Trade, and Economic Enterprise and Cooperative.
Number 6, a resolution congratulating the Malay Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council for winning first place, Best Local Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council in Region 6, and Boracay Action Group as Best Volunteer Group, introduced by Honorable Galinero.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
Number 7, Mr. Chair, an ordinance requiring all buildings, other structures, and residential or otherwise, to construct a cistern or holding tank, and for existing structures to be given 2 years moratorium to provide assistance introduced by Honorable Graf.
Refer to Committee on Laws.
May note gali,
Honorable
please,
Graf.
change gali ito ng 2 years into 12 months. 2 years is too long. 12 months only. Thank you.
Committee na lang na.
1 year moratorium.
1 year moratorium.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Nami magamba 12 ay medyo abo.
Okay.
Number
Proceed.
8, Mr. Chair, an ordinance amending Section 6 and 8 of Municipal Ordinance Number 131, Series of 2000, an ordinance amending Municipal Ordinance Number 9697, regulating the construction of all buildings and other structures in the island of Boracay, as amended by Municipal Ordinance Number 267, Series of 2008, introduced by Honorable Bautista.
Refer to Committee on Laws. Let's proceed to Committee report.
For the committee report, Mr. Chair, number 1, from the Committee on Laws and Ordinance regarding committee hearing conducted on the following referrals. Number 1, letter A, the request of the municipal mayor for the passage of a resolution requesting for funding, financial assistance from Honorable Carlito S. Marquez, Congressman, Law District of Aklan, for the construction of drainage system at Bulabog, Boracay Island, Malay, in the amount of 5 million pesos.
The Vice Chairman on Committee on Laws. Proceed.
Mr. Chair,
Honorable Bautista.
anyway, this is only a resolution to the request for. This is not from assistance from Carlitos Marquez, and this is very imperative, especially on our drainage problem in Boracay, Mr. Chair. So, I hope that this committee will be the committee report will be adopted for its approval, Mr. Chair. It's a very important project for the island, Mr. Chair.
So is this immediate approval?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Yeah,
Honorable Graf.
I second the motion to the, if it is a move, no, of the Honorable Bautista to expedite, if this is a urgent request.
Okay.
So the money will be released already, because according to the mayor, it's there, but we need to do this.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
there's a motion from the member on the Committee on Laws for the at Bulabog, Boracay Island, Malay, in the amount of 5 million pesos, seconded by Honorable Graf. So the said resolution is hereby approved. Proceed.
Letter B, Mr. Chair, the request of the municipal mayor for the passage of a resolution requesting for funding, financial assistance from Honorable Florencio T. Miraflores for the construction of drainage system at Bulabog, Boracay Island, Malay, from the 15% of the provincial government of Aklan in the environment and admission fee collections of LGU Malay in the amount of 5 million pesos.
Okay. Proceed.
Yes,
Committee on Laws.
Same also with the request funding assistance from Honorable Carlito Marquez. This will be an additional funding for the construction of a drainage system in Boracay, Mr. Chairman, especially in Bulabog area. So we will be requesting for the releasal 5 million from the share of the provincial government out of the 15% share from environmental fee and admission fee, Mr. Chairman. So this is very urgent also, Mr. Chair. I hope that this will be approved immediately for earlier releasal of this funding, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, this is a motion from Honorable Bautista
Second the motion,
for
Mr.
the
Chair.
approval of the request of the municipal mayor for the passage of a resolution requesting for funding, financial assistance from the Honorable Florencio T. Miraflores for the construction of drainage system at Bulabog, Boracay Island, Malay, from the 15% of the provincial government of Aklan in the environmental and admission fee collection of the LGU Malay in the amount of 5 million pesos, duly seconded by Honorable Graf. So the said request is hereby approved.
Letter C, Mr. Chair, resolution number 10, series of 2017 of Barangay Poblacion.
Okay, proceed. Honorable Bautista.
I have the copy. Do you have a copy of the resolution, Mr. Chair, from the Secretariat?
I did, yeah.
Okay, this is a request, Mr. Chair, of Barangay Poblacion for the construction of a drainage system along the Vitaliano, Sakapanyo, Anigmedio, Prado, Milanios. So, the various streets, Mr. Chair, in the Poblacion, and this is an authority for them to construct. So, maybe they have the funds, so especially the funds will come from Kalahi Seeds, Mr. Chair, Tier 2, and through, I think, through the DSWD, and this is very important also for especially in some areas here in Poblacion as no drainage system. So, Mr. Chair, I moved for the adoption of the committee report and to calendar this or second and final reading decision.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair,
so there's a-
Mr. Chair, I think that
Honorable
request
Prosecutor.
is also urgent if we can pass immediately, and there's no
Yes.
need to calendar for
Yes,
second
Mr. Chair, since we have a good weather today, so they can start
Yeah.
earlier for preparation for the flooding, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Okay. So there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the immediate passage of a resolution number 10 series of 2017 of Poblacion, duly seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said resolution is hereby approved. Proceed.
So this the same also, Mr. Chair, resolution number 13 of Barangay Bulusbos, also for the request, an authority also for the construction also of the system, which can be funds from the Kalahi Seeds in the CPP. And this is very urgent also, Mr. Chair, and the possibility of releasing the funds in order to be able to protect, no, especially on the flooding. We have a good weather today. Maybe by next month we can start the construction so that we'll be go ahead of the any floods coming, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the immediate
seconded.
passage
Yes,
of a resolution number 13 series of 2017 of Barangay Balusbos, duly seconded by Honorable Pagsugiron. So the said resolution is hereby approved. Proceed.
For the Committee on Land Use, on request for endorsement of the following, Mr. Chair. Letter A, Mr. Rayson Sierra Gatarin, renovation of 2-story, 8 rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Yapak.
Okay, the chairman on Committee on Land Use.
Okay, Mr. Chair, for reason Sierra Gatarin for the this is a renovation of a two-story building at Ayapak. We inspected with personnel from staff from zoning office, and there's a compliance with the chair. So I move for the endorsement of the request for the construction, no, especially for the issuance of zoning permit and the building permit, Mr. Chairman, for reason Sierra Gatarin.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of endorsement for the construction of or renovation of 2-story, 8 rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Yapak, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
For Michael M. Salas, 1-story building office at Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Lift.
So the same, Chairman, this was inspected by the Chairman Committee on Land Use with staff from zoning office, and they complied all the requirements, Mr. Chairman. So I moved for an endorsement for this project, Mr. Chairman, for Mr. Michael Salas.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement for constructing a 1-story building office at Barangay Manok-Manok, Boracay Lift, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Thursday, Mr. Chair, Su Jin Kim, Boracay Water World Incorporated, 2-story commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Okay,
Proceed to Committee
we
Chairman.
inspected the chair, and there was already construction. So, but no violation on our open space, on our height limit and setback. But they have to pay the penalty, Mr. Chairman. So they complied all the requirements except for the constructing without zoning permit. But they have to pay the penalty, Mr. Chair. So I move for the endorsement of this project of Su Jim Kim, Boracay Water World Incorporated, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement for the construction of two-story commercial building at Barangay Manok-Manok owned by Sujin Kim, Boracay Water Board Incorporated. Seconded by
Second the
Honorable
motion.
Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
From Mr. Michael Prado, Mr. Chair, renovation of one-story, one-room residential commercial building with attic at Barangay Manok-Manok.
Okay, Mr. Chair, the same also, the inspected the project of Michael Prado and complied all the requirements. So I move for endorsement of this project of Michael Prado, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the renovation of one-story, one-room residential commercial building with attic at Barangay Manok-Manok owned by Mr. Michael Prado, duly seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
From Mr. Monelito Celeste, renovation of two-story, two rooms commercial building at Barangay Balangbag.
Proceed.
The same also,
Committee
Mr. Chairman. This is for renovation, and it was inspected and complied all the requirements, Mr. Chairman. So I move for an endorsement for this project of Bonelito Celeste, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the renovation of two-story, two rooms of commercial building at Barangay Balabag owned by Mr. Monilito Celeste, duly seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
From Mr. Jesus Kasidsid, Mr. Chair, two-story, six rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Argao.
The same also, Mr. Chairman. This was inspected and complied all the requirements. No, I move for endorsement of this project, Mr. Chairman. A two-story building with 6 rooms. So this is as a residential commercial in Barangay Argao, and it's a good indication that some of the Malayinons now are investing, Mr. Chairman, for I think this is an apartment. So it's indication that Malay now is moving forward, Mr. Chairman, the mainland. So I move for an endorsement of this project, Mr. Chairman, for Jesus Kasid said.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of the construction of two-story, 6 rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Argao owned by Mr. Jesus Kasidsid, seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
From Ms. Ella I. Martem, two-story, 3 rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Katiklan.
Same also, Mr. Chairman. The building is already, I mean, it's existing, but they will put up another story, one story additional, and there was an encroachment from the 10-meter setback, since we know that Katiklan area going to Boruanga is already a national highway, and some portion of the property is within the 10-meter setback, but I require her to submit the undertakings that in case of road widening, that they will demolish the structures which encroach in 10-meter setback, Mr. Chairman. So I move that this project, Mr. Chairman, will be endorsed, to Illa Marti, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so there's a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement of construction of two-story, 3 rooms residential commercial building at Barangay Katiklan owned by Ms. Elia I. Marti, seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
From the Philippine 7 Corporation, Mr. Chair, interior renovation of ground floor and additional second floor.
Proceed.
Also inspected, the chairman, with the zoning staff, so from the zoning office, so and submitted all the requirements, Mr. Chairman. So I move that this request for endorsement of Philippine 7 Corporation will be considered, Mr. Chairman. So I move that endorsement for Philippine 7 Corporation will be approved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so a motion from the committee chairman for the approval of the endorsement on the renovation of ground floor and additional second floor of Philippine 7 Corporation, seconded by Honorable Aaron. The said motion is hereby approved.
Mr. Chairman,
Proceed.
I would like to include Xiong Nyong Lee, since they submitted already some documents that have been lacking.
Okay, included in the...
Yeah, and it's expected, but since they started the construction without a zoning permit, so they will be charged with a penalty, Mr. Chairman. But I hope that the endorsement will be approved for this project, Mr. Chairman. And I'm checking some of the documents, but they submitted already, and I will check from to the SEC office to verify the correctness of the documents, Mr. Chairman. But they will be penalized for violation or constructing without zoning permit, Mr. Chairman, and a building permit.
Okay, as mentioned by Honorable Bautista, the said applicant is now considered,
Xiong Nyong Lee.
Xiong Lee, provided all these requirements be subject for validation. Is hereby approved for endorsement and seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved.
Also, Mr. Chairman, also the Sunlink, Mr. Chairman, of International Trading, Peter Brugger, we inspected also, Mr. Chairman. So I move to endorse the project, Mr. Chairman. This was inspected also with the zoning office.
Okay, as stated by Honorable Bautista, so the said motion is hereby approved for the endorsement and seconded by Honorable Aaron, so the said motion is hereby approved. Proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay.
Committee report, Mr. Chair, from the Committee on Cooperative regarding the application for accreditation of Boracay Malay Pillars Organization Incorporated.
The Committee on Cooperative, but it will be
Mr.
reported
Chair?
by that. Okay, Honorable Pagdiron.
Actually, for the information, Mr. Chair, the committee chair, the president of the said organization, Mr. Chair, is of course yours truly, and during our previous sessions, it was referred to the vice chairman, but since the vice chairman is absent today, so I appoint members of the committee to render the report, Mr. Chair, for in favor of the Boracay Malay Pillars Organization.
Okay, there's no other recourse, but the members should endorse the
so
report. Okay.
Since the chairman on Committee on Cooperative is inhibiting himself, Mr. Chairman, since he is the president of this association, and he said that he is appointing me, so I have no choice but to follow him. But but anyway, Mr. Chairman, the complaint, except maybe, Mr. Chairman, on the board solution number 1, is signed by the president. Since it is a solution, this should be signed by the board chairman, the chairman of the board, Mr. Chairman. So this should be corrected, Mr. President. Now, since this is a board resolution, so the one who will sign this is the board, the chairman of the board, not the president. So anyway, Mr. Chairman, they complied all the documents submitted here, and so we have no choice but to approve the accreditation of this resolution, since there are pillars. So ganda naman Anyway, I read all the purpose, Mr. Chairman. It's very good. It's one way of shaping the future by preserving groups, integrity and commitment. So anyway, I hope that the purpose of this will give a good especially on the development of Malay, because they will be supporting any local government development, especially on tourism and environment, Mr. Chairman. So I move that this second reading, the accreditation of this Boracay Malay Pillars Organization Incorporated will be approved, Mr. Chairman, and be calendared in the third and final reading of the session.
Okay, there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the approval of the committee of the application of accreditation of Boracay Malay Pillars Organization Incorporated be approved. Seconded by Honorable Aaron. So be approved for second and be calendared for final reading.
I think with that, Mr. Chair, I'd like to thank the Honorable Bautista for endorsing, and rest assured that all the the objectives will be
comply, no, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So let's move to the calendar
welcome.
business for the day.
For second reading, Mr. Chair, number 1, an ordinance adopting the Malay Economic Investment and Incentives Code of 2017.
Honorable Bautista, proceed.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Actually, it's been a long time that this investment code will be approved. The Vice Chairman on Committee on Laws is ready for any comments or discussions on this investment code, Chairman, for deliberation.
Okay. Any
Mr. Chair,
comment? Honorable Pasugiro.
I just received this a copy of this Malay Economic Investment and Incentives Code this morning, and I think I don't have time no to peruse this all the contents of this, Mr. Chair. So, in my part, no, I'd like to, if because I want to also to review, no, or the content of this investment code, Mr. Chair. So, if possible, that if we can differ this and for next regular sessions, we can approve this investment code, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Honorable Bautista, are you
Mr. Chairman,
amenable to that?
if that's the pleasure of the gentleman, so it depends on the body. But for me, it's okay since even me, just the first time I read this. But I have some idea already, Mr. Chairman. But I need more discussion, especially from the members of this body. So I am agreeable, Mr. Chairman, for a deferment to have more discussions or more review on the contents of this investment code, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So,
Thank you for that, Mr. Chair.
okay. So, this ordinance adopting the Malay Economic Investment and Incentive Code of 2017 will be deferred for more review and discussion. It will be calendar for next session. Proceed.
Number 2, Mr. Chair, a resolution authorizing the Honorable Mayor Cizaron Escawaling to apply for a foreshore lease agreement with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources of the foreshore area from Barangay Katiklan to Barangay Poblacion.
Okay, Honorable Bautista, proceed.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, since this is a very important document, Mr. Chairman, in order to apply for a foreshore list, especially in our coastal area from Katiklan to Poblacion, because we are planning to have this. We are look at this taking or the support, no, or the idea of the famous one of the famous architect in the Philippines for Palafox, no, to have the harbor city here in Malay. So this is very important, Mr. Chair, and this is this is a requirement to the INAR in order to have the foreshore list, in order us to maybe in the future we can have a reclamation in that area. So I move for, or honest, maybe if some other members to ask some questions, Mr. Chairman, regarding this resolution.
Mr. Chair.
Okay.
I think there is a need to approve this, no, this propose for to apply for foreshore list, no, because the way I see it, that you know, Boracay or Malay is we could see in a growing development, no, and even today we encounter some problems, especially during low tide, no, in the mainland, especially yung mga kuwan natin. That's why instead of recommending some that the congestion problems, especially in like yung kwan na mapambots natin dun sa kwan sa Boracay, we cannot recommend here in the mainland because I think because of its conditions of the area, no, and so that's why kailangan natin talaga na ma-consider because we don't know that like some other interested, because even individuals can apply for a foreshore list, no, and well, of course, the provincial government is also there, no? So I think it's high time, no, that the local government will now act on the applications for sure in this area, Mr. Chair, for future siyempre para sa future natin na
Future development.
development.
Okay.
Mr. Chair?
Honorable Graf.
Yeah, I agree to the urgency of the request, no? Before the development will again overtake, like what happened in Boracay. Before everything was in place, development was already there. It was difficult for the municipality to control because the private owners have already developed. So before it arrives in Malay, in fact now in Katiklan it's already starting. In fact, we lost already the jetty port, and we might lose some more if we don't act on it now. So yeah, we have to approve this authority to the mayor so that he can start the negotiations already, or the application, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Proceed, Honorable Bautista.
So with that, Mr. Chair, so I think everybody is agreeable on this plan or move by the Chief Executive, and we have to support this. So I move that this authority to the Mayor, to the Chief Executive will be given and be calendared for third and final reading in this session, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the approval of a resolution authorizing the Honorable Mayor Ciceron Iscawaring to apply for a foreshore lease agreement flagged with the Department of Environment and Natural Resources of the foreshore area from Barangay Katiklan to Poblacion. Seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said motion, the said resolution is hereby approved. Proceed.
Number 3, Mr. Chair, a resolution endorsing the request of Solar Pacific Citizen Corporation to develop, construct, and operate photovoltaic solar power project located at the rooftop of City Mall Commercial Center in Barangay Balabag.
Proceed.
The Vice Chairman, Mr. Chairman, has the more idea on this.
Of course, this is an eco-friendly Mr. Chair, no? But my only query here is if this will not violate the ordinance, like since this is also a constructions, this will be installed at the rooftop of City Mall. So that's only my query, no?
Yes.
But as far as the solar system is concerned, so I support this, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So I think we have to discuss more on this, Mr. Chairman, because I do not know if this kind of project is limited or exclusively used by City Mall, no? Or maybe I don't know what is the purpose of this. Exclusive, and then I haven't read yet the. So I think we will wait the chairman on this, since as the eligible on this project, Mr. Chairman. I have no idea, more idea on this project.
Okay, Honorable Aaron.
During the presentation last time I present, this is exclusively for City Mall only, and they will provide also as their corporate responsibility to provide solar power at our extension office in Palabang.
Action Center.
Okay.
So if
Honorable
that's the
Bautista.
case, that there was a presentation that we doesn't know, that supposedly this should have present it in this plenary, Mr. Chairman, di ba? The committee?
We were
So that's why we need the chairman, Mr. Chairman, the chairman committee on laws. Since we have no, I don't know if what with the pressure of the body, but for me, I need more explanation on this.
So Mr. Chair,
Chairman?
no, if
Honorable Pagsugira.
if City Mall is going to extend or provide power to the local government, to the
extension office in Boracay. So there must be a MOA, no? It's not only because they will give, so that's why we want to know. So I think for the meantime also we'll wait for the chairman, committee chair on this was referred to committee on laws, no? So that we will ask him if what other documents, no, or arrangement with City Mall and the local government.
Okay, on that note, we will defer the approval of this resolution for more discussion. No? So we will calendar this on the next session. Proceed.
Number 4, Mr. Chair, a resolution authorizing the municipal mayor si Sir Ms. Kawaling to enter the memorandum of agreement with Qualimedic Marketing regarding the installation of parasitology machine, Parasis, rapid analysis of intestinal parasite instrument at Malay Municipal Health Office Annex Clinical Laboratory, Barangay Balapag, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan.
Proceed, Honorable Pagsugiron.
Vice Chairman of Laws. Ako ko daw? Ay, Vice Chairman of Laws. So, Mr. Chairman, it's very important, no? Especially we have no equipment, especially on these Parasis, Mr. Chairman. And I think this is a renewal. Because we have this also in Walamedic Marketing before. If I remember, Mr. Chairman.
With Qualimedic,
Yes.
is it? My only may I see something, sir? My only concern here, Mr. Chair, is this is specific. The location of this parasitology machine will be in Boracay Island. I don't know if they are also accepting people from the mainland to go there, and knowing that most of the people living in Boracay are not really locals anymore. So who is that will be benefiting from these machines are not our tumandok here on the mainland, which also will be needing this kind of services. As we all know, maybe 70% of the children who will benefit from this are not our children from Malay, as Malay nuns and Boracay nuns. Mr. Chair, I mean, I'm not ano tawag ka diho, selecting, no, but yeah, I think we should also make sure that our locals here from the 14 barangays will also benefit for something like this.
Okay. Since this is will be operated by the Malay Municipal Health Office, I'm sure every Malay nurse is entitled to what's this? To have that clinic or that laboratory.
The Chairman, I think there was a draft agreement with that. Because I have not read the MOA on this.
Mr. Chair, unless
Wala.
unless the analysis will only be done here, but they will also conduct parasitology check here in Malay, and just
Bring
the
it there.
location of the machine, then it will not pose any problem or
Mr.
on
Chair,
my part.
Honorable
Thank you.
Pagsugiron.
I have here a draft resolution. Can I read?
The
This,
MOA,
resolution.
Mr. Chairman. We need the
or
MOA.
resolution?
The MOA
We
is
need
very
also-
important.
We need the resolution. The MOA,
MOA.
between the Qualimedic Marketing and the LGU.
Okay.
If you have copy.
But we don't have a copy of the MOA, Mr. Anyway, for me, this is good for our constituents, Mr. Because this is a health services provided to our constituents, no? So there's, for me, unless, no, because we don't say what is all about the MOA, but if we're going to discuss about the machine, so I think everybody needs, no, our constituents needs this, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is only on the
Honorable
concern
Bautista.
of SB Graph here, if will this machine will be put up, and then who will avail, if all of the Malayans will avail of the services of this machine. So that's only the concern. So maybe we will check the MOA if who will avail of this services, if all Malayans or only for the island, or so anyway, we will check the MOA system. But that's very, very important, and it's urgent, Mr. Chairman, that we need this.
Oo.
So I think we just approve this
Check.
and then check only the MOA if some the draft MOA, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, it's just my concern na as long as the whole Malay will be benefiting from this, and not as knowing the municipal health office always clogged with people, if our locals will go there and will have to go there and have them check, or they can also avail of checking here before bringing the specimen to the mainland for analysis, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Then it will be okay.
Okay,
It's important, and we have to agree. I mean, like, we have to work on that
Okay.
on the approval. Thank you.
Okay, proceed, Honorable
So with that,
Bautista.
Mr. Chairman, so I move for approval of this Chairman of this authority to the General Mayor, and calendar this for reading the session, and maybe check the contents of the MOA, Mr. Chairman.
This is already
Okay.
second reading.
Since this is
We are on the
resolution that
second
will be
reading.
approved, immediate approval.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay,
Okay.
so there's a motion from Honorable Bautista for the approval of a resolution authorizing the municipal mayor, Cicero Escawaling, to enter into a memorandum of agreement with Quali Medic Marketing regarding the installation of parasitology machine, parasite, rapid analysis of the intestinal parasite instrument at Malay Municipal Health Office, Annex Clinic Laboratory, Barangay Balabag, Boracay Island, Malay Aklan, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So the said resolution is hereby approved. Let's proceed to the unassigned business. Do we have any unassigned
We have
business?
no unassigned business, Mr. Chair.
Proceed.
Other matters, Mr.
Other
Chair?
matters? None. Announcement?
None, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, announcement.
Honorable Pagsugiron?
First is with regards to the travel, on September 1, 3, and September 1 to 3 in Manila. There's a need to finalize, those who are interested to attend this travel mart. Mr. Chair.
Okay.
And the other one, Mr. Chair, the Modelo Global Solutions Corporation already submitted to us with regards to their application for accreditations. But of course, the committee could not act on the request immediately because there is a need to call for a committee hearing with regards to the distributions of this is solar e-trike, that's manufactured by Star 8. So before the committee can recommend for the accreditation, so I being the chairman of the committee, so I recommend that the committee hearing be conducted first. So I will schedule on next Tuesday afternoon after the session, and the
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Bautista.
actually all those 8 try who request or applied for accreditation, they presented on the plenary, not on the committee, di ba? So I think we have to invite them or be here in the plenary and discuss to us, and especially on some scheme, especially financing scheme of this e-trike.
okay. So if that is the suggestion, it would be better, Mr. Chair, and with that, so we will invite members of the board of directors of Built-in PC to represent the operators, the franchise holders, and Mr. Cesar Oxon, and
Mr. Ruin Aguirre, and the three barangay captains of barangay of Boracay Island, and representative from Modelo corporations.
Okay, take note,
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
Before,
Honorable Graf.
Mr. Chair, before we adjourn, I forgot something that regarding the transport system in Boracay. If I think we have to call the transport co-op in Boracay here, land transport, to discuss servicing the areas that they are not covering and making our constituents suffer, including the school children. And since we have been asking their cooperation since the beginning of time, and nothing has been done until now, so there's this group of private citizens in Boracay who are very concerned about the plight of our own people. No, even themselves are victims. They get either they get overcharged, or they see the children even raining, still waiting for a ride and never picked up. So in fact, there is a group of a few of our friends who are willing to sacrifice a little of their money to buy vehicles na lang, and parang missionary service, like Tambisaan during Amihan is not serviced by a regular co-op vehicles. Bulabog, Mount Luho, going a vehicle that will pick up passengers at the end of Yapak, because otherwise you have to rent. Diniwid, those are the areas that never gets the attention of our transport system, despite several requests from them to cover the area. So I think we need to call them, because if they will not do it, we have to be, even if it's an additional transport, we have to think of something better if they will not be really doing what they're supposed to do as under one of the content, one of the undertaking in the franchise that we are giving them.
Okay, anyway,
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'd like
Honorable
to call
Graf,
them for
they
next.
They will be invited next session.
Yes,
So we will
Mr. Chair.
include your
To be
concern.
sure that
Yeah.
they will, once and for all, we have to decide on this. Thank you.
Okay. Honorable Aaron.
For unfinished business, then unfinished regarding the Mabuhay Host and the Texon Travel and Tours this time. Texon Travel and Tours is requesting for a set down to discuss the regulations regarding the tour operators, or tour guiding. So I think I have to refer this matter to Committee on Tourism and to involve the tourism officer to discuss what is tour guiding all about, because Dexon Travels is now marketing at the airport. So I cannot tackle to always everyday calling for a rescue at the airport. So it's better the earlier these issues can be resolved.
Okay, I think the chairman of committee on tourism will appreciate, if we will assign it to him.
Yeah.
Committee chairman.
That's why I cannot.
Okay.
So
Honorable Pasugiron.
I think although it was referred to back to my committee, but I think I need still the help of our ABC president. So with that, so to act on the request, so I think if possible that we can schedule a committee hearing on Tuesday afternoon.
Tuesday.
Para
I think I have triple activity.
After the session,
after this session,
After session na.
so that the other members can also present and participate in the.
Are we sure that we can finish earlier on Tuesday?
We can actually finish. I will just a personal appeal from Honorable Graf to come early so that we can start
That's
early
why.
also.
That's why, because
9:30 we should be here so we can start early.
We will not invite some other people. We will just only focus on very important matters. Then,
Unresolved.
Mr. Chairman. So
Okay.
that maybe 2 o'clock or we can have the
Finish,
discussions with.
Actually, we have only one invitations for the question hour.
You know,
Abo.
the try.
The Modelo, the
Ah.
tracks.
Abo na to.
Abo na? Abo?
Oh, mo naman.
Abo ay?
Dahil mabudlay dahil it involves sa airport at tourism.
Abo?
So 3 p.m. 3 p.m. we will schedule
3 p.m.
Oh.
Ikwanta lang, i-adjust atong sa question hour. Ikwanta lang tayo.
We will limit also the privilege speech, no? One or two.
Privilege speech man, ipa-limit na nila to.
Limit na eh.
Okay. Sige.
Huwag mo na mag-ikot-ikot dyan, maghanap ng issue. Na? Or else, we will not finish the whole day.
Last, Mr. Chair, before I forget, Gali, there's the BFI have come up with a letter opposing the increase of BIWC because according to our hearing, there will be an increase every 5 years starting now. So that means soon we will be paying 300 per cubic meter. So we have to start now. And then I think there's also a little bit technical how you call that, issues here. Like some procedure was not followed correctly. And I think
Okay. Anyway,
to protect
just-
our constituents, especially our businesses in Boracay, we have to also stand for our municipality and to protect our people from this rates, no.
Okay.
We
Okay.
can support. We will write a letter to the SB for support to our.
Yeah, they have to send communication
yes,
to
yes.
us so we can act on the
Yep.
request.
Mr.
Okay?
Chair, thank you.
Okay, finally, Honorable
Mr. Chair,
Pagsugiron.
I move that our 27th regular session be adjourned.
Okay, so there's a motion from Honorable Pagsugiron for the adjournment of our 27th regular session, seconded by Honorable Aaron. So our 27th regular session is hereby adjourned at exactly 2:47 in the afternoon. Thank you.